back on the dirt. 4 divisions head to the trenches for Operation Green Flag, Mission Humberstone Speedway, next on GeForce TV. Welcome, race fans, to Operation Green Flag. Tonight, we take our second tour of duty in Port Colborne, Ontario at Humberstone Speedway. We are back on the dirt. To set up tonight's mission, here's Clinton Jeffrey.
Well, we have a packed house here tonight, 4 divisions. Some of the best drivers in Ontario are here to compete in the Dirt Late Models, the Dirt Sportsman. You've also got the Action Sprint Tour Crate Sprints and the Mini Stocks. The track has done a lot of work to their surface this season, but it's fairly green. Only one full night of competition with a bunch of practice. That will be the story we'll be following tonight, will be the surface here tonight, guys. It's going to be a wild one.
We're in for a treat tonight, folks. Back at the new Humberstone Speedway, but the big thing to me, if you've been to a dirt track anywhere in North America, one of the headline divisions is probably either some type of sprint car, some type of late model, or some type of modified. Guess what? We've got all those divisions tonight, plus the dirt mini stocks. We've got crate late models, crate powered sprint cars, and we've got the Sportsman modifieds here to put on a phenomenal show tonight. The action should be incredible, and we have to give a big thank you to track promoter Dave Bittner. He's done an awesome job putting these events together. It's exciting for us to be here with GeForce TV to present these races to you. Clinton Jeffrey is with Dave Bittner right now. Let's see what they've got to say.
Well, we're here with the president of Humberstone Speedway, Dave Bittner. Dave, how cool is it to be back at the track with all the situation going on? You got a full pits, lots of people excited about watching tonight. How are you feeling, buddy?
You know what? I'm absolutely floored. We have the perfect amount of social distancing and number of cars for pit stalls. We literally could not put another car on this property. It's been fantastic. So I'd really love to thank all the drivers for showing up and supporting. Without stuff like this, we wouldn't be able to put on events to make this kind of stuff happen for you fans at home. And we are really glad to have you guys at home watching. That's why we do this. So thank you guys very, very much. Appreciate everything you do. Keep watching. Welcome to Sunday nights.
Thanks a lot, Dave. As we mentioned, everybody, the weather is absolutely gorgeous here. We've got packed pits. Get ready to go racing. Operation Green Flag coming your way.
When we return, the dirt is about to fly here on Operation Green Flag, Mission Humberstone Speedway.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
I'm Adam Ross, and I sell Hino trucks. If you need a commercial truck, or if you work for a company that needs a commercial truck, email me, aross@mtg.ca. I'm a sales rep for Metro Truck Group, and I sell Hino trucks.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Chicken Wings. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome everyone to Humberstone Speedway in Port Colborne, Ontario for Operation Green Flag. We are into our 5th mission of the season, and cars on track right now. The Action Sprint Tour is wrapping up their final hot lap session before we get to the racing action. Again, my name's Greg Kellnan. With me here in the tower, Adam Ross, and touring the infield and down a victory lane tonight will be Clinton Jeffrey as always. Adam, we've got 4 divisions, lots of laps, lots of action on a beautiful Sunday night.
I can't believe what I'm seeing, Greg, the number of cars that pulled into this facility. Everyone is chomping at the bit to race, and I know we say this every week, every event, but the energy at these racetracks, I haven't felt this much positivity and just excitement and appreciation in a long, long time at the racetrack. Everyone's just pumped up to be here.
And we hope you're enjoying these broadcasts at home as well, and if you have a chance, make sure you share this on social media. And again, free broadcast, get it out to the world and let everyone know there's some free racing to watch right here on a Sunday night. Hopefully you're sitting out on your patio or in your down in your man cave or wherever it might be. Send us some pics through Facebook.
And you know what I've loved about GForce? We've got people that are in the chat, and join in the chat, participate, folks. I know if you're watching on your phone, it's a little annoying, but if you're at your computer, participate in the chat. We've got people helping give answers that have been asked. Wesley Shaw doing a great job, Steve Petty, all sorts of people. Fran is always on the spot. It's really been a great team effort and an awful lot of fun, and of course, Greg, you and I have the best seats in the house to sit here and enjoy some fantastic racing. And just like Wesley said, it looks like the mini stocks are going to be up first with qualifying heats.
Yeah, 8 laps will be the distance for all 4 divisions in their qualifying heats, and leading the way out, that'll be the 26 machine of Tim Newell. He's from Hagersville, Ontario, and lining up along with him will be from Wayne Fleet in the Niagara Recycling Upfront Motorsports. CJ Custom Cleans 2EZ, Evan Curtis. There's the one, that's Jason Tolton in the vacuum trucks. Caldecott Millwrights, Twisted Alliance Racing, car number 1, he's from Guelph. And right behind him will be the 72 machine tonight, which I do not have on my roster sheet, so we'll get a name on the 72. Then we've got the number 10 of Jay Moulton out of Niagara Falls. He's the winner back at Merrittville Speedway in the Central Fabricating Sunflowers of Sanborn. St. Catharines towing number 10. The 91, that's Olivier Larocque from Welland in the Cooper Motorsports Napa Port Colborne number 91 machine. Lightning Tom Cole lines up to his outside in car number 6. He's from Brantford in the Quinny West Tirecraft Romeo Barbershops number 6. And then we also have out there the 71W of Austin Worstraw out of Niagara-on-the-Lake in the Fix Auto St. Catharines Van Sickle Pet Value Exclusive Print 71W. The 13, that'll be Dylan Lord, the 13D. He's from Thorold, the SOS Towing Welland Equipment Rentals, Obey Designs 13 truck. And one car on the outside of that back row. Catch that. I believe that is the 88. Yes, that is the 88 of Braden Cuse out of Beamsville. Green flag goes on the Speedway for the first time tonight. Operation Green Flag Mission Humberstone Speedway is underway.
Contact in turn number 1, 72. We find out is Dave Hoyle, who did a nice job of avoiding that mishap in turns 1 and 2. Things got real in a hurry. Front end damage to the 26 machine of Newell.
So we'll try that one again. A rough start here for the mini stock division. Want to give a shout out to Corey and his wife from Caldecott Millwright, sponsor on Jason Tolton's car. Corey and his wife Jenny just had a new baby girl, Ainsley, and Jason wanted to pass the congratulations out. New sponsor on car number 1 here this evening.
Yeah, and Caldecott's gotten behind a number of racers. Recently, we saw a bunch of Flamborough Speedway last week. Awesome to see some here on the dirt as well. So always exciting to see new people get involved with the sport.
So Evan Curtis will get shuffled to the back of the field for this take 2 on the green flag. And here was the initial start. Contact between Curtis and Newell. Little bumper piece there left in corner number 1. Everyone scattered. Great camera angle down there in corner number 1 tonight.
Yeah, we worked on moving it from the last time. You'll notice you can see the action without seeing the fence, Greg. And this is important to us as we go from venue to venue, doing things a little bit better the second time than we did the first visit. We've got an awesome team. Let's introduce them. We got Mark on the infield. Is it Mark Little? This is terrible. That's the one whose last name I don't know. David Stiers is with Clint tonight. Sean Robertson, I believe, is up on the roof. Greg Boydell down in turn number 1, getting some amazing shots all around the track.
So David Hoyle is the 72. He'll line up on the outside of Tim Newell, and Tim missing that front fender, and you see the front bumper hanging off there as he comes to the green flag. We'll try it again. 8 laps for the Glow and Go Tanning mini stocks here at Humberstone.
Nice start for Hoyle down the back straightaway, but look at Tolton, and that's a pretty car, that number 1 of Jason Tolton. He pulls him down the back straightaway.
Lap 1 officially in the record books now as Hoyle leads over Tolton. Newell slips up a little bit. Here comes Evan Curtis to his inside, says, how do you do, into the 3rd spot.
And the thing is, do you take retaliation or do you keep moving forward? Because I think Evan Curtis wasn't real thrilled with how that race started, but he was going so fast he didn't even have time to rub up Newell on the way by.
Here he comes on the outside, Tolton on the bottom, and Hoyle really got high up in corner number 2. They thought about 3 wide. Now Curtis gets pinched out of the situation. He's stuck on the outside.
Tolton is a savvy race car driver. Did you see what he did there in turn 2, Greg? I think he knew Curtis was coming and made sure there wasn't a car width between him and Hoyle in the 72. Now Curtis may get that spot anyhow. He's got a fast race car, but Jason Tolton is making him work for it.
Good tempo up front, lots of good racing as now David Hoyle slipped back to the 4th position. Moulton will slip by him. Here comes the battle for the lead, though. Curtis to the inside of Tolton in corner 1.
Side by side, door to door, 1 on the outside, 2 on the inside, and they will remain door to door off turn number 2 down the back straightaway. That is as close a horsepower battle as you're going to see, I'd say, Greg.
Yeah, good race out in front as Tolton holds him at the line with Curtis in the 2nd spot. Moulton now has caught the top 2. And Worstraw in the 71 still there as well.
Evan Curtis tried a different approach. He followed Tolton into the corner, carved the car down to the inside to try to get a better run. It seems that he did, and now he's trying to finish that move, but Jason Tolton says not so fast.
Lap traffic right in front of the leaders. Curtis goes down to the inside of Tolton. Now he'll have to switch lanes and get by Tom Cole as they go down the backstretch.
Let's see if Tolton drives to the bottom and returns the favor, maybe slides up the racetrack towards Curtis. So far he does not, but he's right on his tail as they take the white flag.
Fantastic battle at the front. Tolton looks low. Curtis gets a good run through corner number 1. He'll stretch the advantage off of 2, and now Moulton will apply pressure to Tolton.
Moulton lifted just for a second there off of turn 2. Is he setting something up for 3 and 4? We're about to find out.
Coming to the checkered flag, Evan Curtis picks up the win over Jason Tolton, Jay Moulton, and then it's Evan Worstraw and Dylan Lord, the top 5. David Hoyle 6th, Tim Newell 7th, 8th will be Olivier Larocque, 9th Tom Cole, and 10th will go to the 88 of Braden Cuse as we get ready for the second qualifying heat of the night for the Glow and Go Tanning Mini Stock Division. Great shot there on the Ohsweken Speedway Race Source Speed Cam. And as Adam mentioned during our live look-in, if you follow us on Facebook, we're wondering, when's that camera going to get hit? It's literally hanging over the wall here tonight to get you the best possible shot we can. And here we are on board. Mark Design is going to take us for a ride tonight with the onboard camera. Fabio Oliveri will start at the front. He is in the Kubota Canada Club 54 Racing Oliveri construction number 16. Going from the 2nd spot, that's where we'll find Craig Vlasic out of Welland in the Queenston Chevrolet Mateo's Restaurante Cool Licks Ice Cream Parlor number 44. Back there in car number 12, that'll be Mark Deagle out of Hamilton. And then back in the 4th spot is where we find Mark Bazine from Caledonia, the Burger Barn Kingpin Farms Petro Plus travel stop car number 21X. Back in row number 3 is where we see the 71B of Leroy Buscombe out of Welland, and the Queenston Chevrolet Golden Horseshoe Truck and Service, TC Deckles, number 71B. And lining up on his outside, that will be car number 51, Eric York out of Milton, Ontario. And he is sponsored by Can Alignment and Part-Time Signs. Behind them, I believe that is the 28, is it? Nope, sorry, that's the 5. Brian Obey. Brian Obey out of Hamilton, the SOS Towing, Eccles Auto Service, Simon's Off-Road Shop, number 5 truck. And then on the outside of him, can't catch the number on the outside of that back row there, we also have the 53. That'll be Matt Christie out of St. Catharines, and the 9 of Kevin Conley in the Weekend Motorsports number 9. As we come down to the front straightaway, we'll catch that car for you in the 8th starting spot tonight. Oh, that's Tyler LaFontese in the 96. And the Rob's Transmission, Louisa's Sweets Retreat, Twisted Metal Racing, number 96.
Down into 3 to complete lap number 1. Fabio Oliveri out in front in that 16 machine. He'll lead lap number 1, but he's got a gaggle of competition right behind him.
Craig Vlasic right there on the back bumper of Fabio Oliveri. 3 wide behind Vlasic. York on the outside. Buscombe on the bottom, and our onboard driver, Mark Bazine there in the 21X with a handful.
Mark Bazine, the driver in the middle here, and we're having a fantastic look as he goes down into 1 and 2, and you can see he takes his right hand off the steering wheel, drives the car with his left, and then once he gets on the straightaway, goes both hands back on the wheel, Greg.
Fabio Oliveri right now out in front as he will complete the lap over Craig Vlasic side by side with Eric York and Mark Bazine for the 3rd spot. Eric, a runner of the Sunset Speedway.
So Fabio Oliveri enjoying a little bit of a gap now, 6 car lengths or so over 2nd spot, and holding a pretty wheel, as we like to say, Greg. That car looks to be really stable for our race leader, not experiencing much of a challenge.
Through corner 1 they go. York on the outside of Vlasic, who drifts up a little bit high. York had to get out of the throttle. Now Tyler LaFontese with issues in corner 2, and he'll grab on behind number 5 of Brian Obey.
Oh, into the wall. Off of turn number 4. No harm, no foul. Don't think it made him any faster, but it didn't slow him down very much, Greg.
No, it didn't. We stay clean and green this time by. It should be 2 laps left to go. 6 in the record books for Fabio Oliveri out in front for Vlasic and Buscombe. York back there in the 4th position. Bazine and Obey side by side for 5th.
Buscombe just pitched it hard into turn number 1 to get a run down the back straightaway. So on the inside is that 71 of Buscombe. He'll take over the 2nd spot, but I'm not sure if he's got time to close in on Oliveri.
One more trip around for Fabio Oliveri, that Kubota Canada number 16, looking sharp out there. Great new paint scheme this year, and it is hooked up in his first race of the season.
Down through 3 and 4 for the final time. It's going to be Oliveri taking the win in heat race number 2.
Buscombe 2nd, York 3rd, Vlasic in the 4th spot. 5th, I believe the line was LaFontese. 6th, Obey. 7th, Bazine. 8th was the 53 of Matt Christie. 9th, the 9 of Kevin Conley. And 10th will be the 12 machine of Mark Deagle. Heat race number 3 heading out onto the speedway. Out there we've got the 28 truck of Go Fast People out of Thorold in the SOS Towing Burkholder Carpentry, number 28. The 22, John Crash Myers. He's from Hamilton, the East Mountain Massage, Hamilton Marble Slab, Hamilton's Pinks Burgers. He'll line up there in that 2nd spot. Back in position number 3 will be the 44 of Danny Worster out of Niagara Falls. And the Flying Saucer Restaurant, Herb Peters Trucking, Weens Underground Electrical, number 44. Back in row number 3 is the 114 of Kyle Rothwell and the Rob's Transmission, Louisa Sweet Retreat Van Sickle Pet Value, number 114 from Welland. And outside of him, looks like that'll be where we find the 13 of Vincent Pagnotta of St. Catharines, the Northern Auto and Tire exclusive imprint, APC Auto Parts 13. And in the row behind them, we'll find Ashton Dickey there in the Strickland's GMC of Brantford, car number 1. He's from Brantford, Ontario. We also have the 76 who's moving up a line here. That'll be Daniel McKay, who's doing double duty tonight. Daniel out of Thorold in the Performance Heating and Air Conditioning number 76 truck. He'll also be in the Sportsman tonight. And the 61 will start from the tail as Dave Small out of Port Colborne. The DSR Super Mario's Pizza Rectangle Auto Supply number 61 coming to the green flag in heat race number 3 for the Glow and Go Tanning Mini Stocks.
Wow. That might be the best hole shot I've seen someone get in years. As Teeple going to lead lap 1.
John Crashmeyer's in second for the moment, but here comes Kyle Rothwell. He'll whip around the outside and grab the second spot in that 114. Myers back to spot number 3. Here comes Tristan De Silva, who I missed in the lineup there. My apologies. Tristan De Silva from Burlington in that Gibbs Action Sport Leggett Chevrolet Let's Landscape Together 01.
And they've been waiting and waiting to go racing. Finally got their opportunity. Awesome to see the 01 back on the racetrack as he makes a move on Crash Myers to the inside of a turn 2, but we have gone yellow.
Looks like there is some stuff down in corner number 1.
It's a stuff yellow.
So Go Fast Teeple is just that. He's fast out in front in that number 28 SOS towing truck. Kyle Rothwell will get a chance, though, now to line up alongside him on the next restart. Crash Myers back there in the 3rd spot. Tristan De Silva running in 4th. And Vincent Pagnotta right now concluding the top 5. So if you tuned in last night looking for Mission Merrittville Speedway, obviously that event canceled due to the torrential downpour that they had in the morning, and that has been rescheduled to Sunday, July the 26th, one night after we're down at Brighton Speedway. Take a look here at the replay. Down in corner number 1. Looks like we're not going to get that look, but nonetheless picking up some of the parts down there, laying in the racing groove, and now Daniel McKay has come to a stop at the outside of corner number 1, so he'll require a push into the pit area. There it is. The nose piece came off the 44 of Danny Worster. There's the replay. Whoop, gone and chewed up and spit out.
What? One bit of contact and it ripped the whole thing right off. Next time by, we're going to set them loose once again. I don't think we're going to see the same advantage on this restart as we did the initial green flag, Greg.
No, I think Kyle Rothwell, who had a bit of work to do to come from deeper in the field, is going to be right there with Go Fast Teeple on this restart. We'll see what he can do, though. Coming back to the green flag in our 3rd, and I believe this is the final qualifying heat for the Glow and Go Tanning Mini Stocks. And there's the start you talk about, Adam. Good start for Kyle Rothwell. He'll jump out to the lead over Go Fast Teeple. Tristan De Silva in 3rd, and then, some extracurricular activity there.
Yeah, a little something there. Out of 2 down the backstretch. They're still making some contact off of turn 4. That's why these cars have bumpers, Greg.
Rothwell, Teeple pulling away, and now here comes Vincent Pagnotta to the inside of the 01 of Tristan De Silva, looking for the 3rd spot.
Pagnotta drives it deep, holding the car down to the inside, then he'll let it slide up in front of De Silva out of turn number 4. He'll pick up that 3rd spot.
Kyle Rothwell leads them down the back stretch with Teeple in tow. Pagnotta in third. Fourth right now to Silva. Fifth, Dave Small in the 61. This time by the white flag coming out for the mini stocks.
One more lap for Rothwell. He's got a few car lengths over Go Fast Teeple, so it should be a pretty routine final lap, but you never know what might happen as they charge down the back straightaway.
Danny Worster makes it back out on the track. Checker flag coming out and across the line. Kyle Rothwell picks up the win for Go Fast Teeple. Vincent Pagnotta third. Fourth will be Tristan De Silva. Fifth, Dave Small. Sixth, Ashton Dickey. Seventh, John Myers. And eighth will go to Danny Worster.
Would you stop calling him John already?
I'm sorry. Oh. We've got a flag malfunction here. I'm not sure what lap we're on now.
The white flag flew, and then I'm not sure what flag flew, and then the white flag flew.
Okay, let's try it again. Checker's out. No position is going to change. It'll be exactly as I just ran it down with Kyle Rothwell picking up the win over the 28 of Go Fast Teeple. Vincent Pagnotta, Tristan De Silva, Dave Small, Ashton Dickey, and Crash Myers.
And to those of you following along on GeForce, we apologize. We're going to get an admin on there and get the chat sorted out. It's a little out of control, but we'll get that settled down, and you'll be able to talk freely once again.
Did you see the video yesterday from the Dakota Mod Tour video that they had out? I don't know the track right offhand, but nonetheless, it was a street stock qualifying heat. The leader came down, took the white flag, drove off into the pits in corner number 2, and the entire field followed him. The race director called to the field, "It's not over." The last place car had enough time to get back on the track, won the qualifying heat.
That is awesome.
You don't see that every day.
So, are you an admin, Greg, on the YouTube channel?
No, I'm not, I don't believe. Heat qualifying for the late model open, going from the pole in this one will be car number 13, Kevin Goody out of Innisville, Ontario. Lining up to his outside will be the 77 of Kaylee Weiss from Carrying Place, Addibbits Excavating and Landscape Supply, Eastern Overhead Doors, Lucas Oil 77. Back in row number 2 is where we will find the 03 machine, and I do not have a name listed for the 03, unless that is Jason Haskell. I see the RH03 on there. Jason Haskell at Ridgetown in the Heidi's RV Barry Wright Race Cars. Hauling Haskell's machine to his outside the 00 of Jim Dale Jr. from Shrewsbury. The Redneck Garage, Dana's Kitchen and Catering, RM Racing Lubricants 00. Then we got the 15 machine. That is Tim Gillespie out of Ridgeway. The Primal Custom Design, Owens Engineering at number 15. And Charlie Sandercock in the 57. He's out of Trenton, Ontario. The Thousand Islands RV, Bellevue Fabricating, Deerhaven Polaris 57. And also out there the 0 car. That is John Pinsino out of Chatham and the Weedman, Chatham Pro Shop Circuit Scale, number 0. Kaylee Weiss leading the way with Dale, and the 03, who I'm guessing right now is Jason Haskell.
And Kaylee Weiss doing a good job out in front. Her focus, she is not as focused on the race car this year as she wasn't planning on being that as she had in years past, but looking good out front right now. But no surprise, Charlie Sandercock is on the move.
Weiss across the line with Dale and Sandercock right now battling for the second spot. Sandercock down to the inside, rides around that Jersey barrier, will take second away from Dale, but he's not going away on the outside.
Not so fast, Charlie, but I think Sandercock will secure the spot as we reach the halfway point of this qualifying heat. Kaylee Weiss still out in front by a car length or so over Sandercock as he pitches it down out of turn number 2 to challenge for that top spot.
2 Brighton Speedway regulars go door to door through 3 and 4. Kaylee Weiss around the outside. She'll lead the lap. Sandercock there in second spot.
I thought Sandercock was going to close in and just drive away from Kaylee Weiss, but Weiss is holding on strong there, doing what she needs to do. She's adjusted her entry into the corner, and the exit, Charlie just can't get a good enough run to pick up that spot. Nice job, Kaylee Weiss.
Yeah, holding her own against Charlie Sandercock. White flag is out. One more trip around. You've never seen Kaylee race. Well, she can get it done. She's a long-time competitor in this late model division. Here we go. Final time through 3 and 4.
Fear is not a problem for Kaylee Weiss. Can she protect that bottom? Charlie trying to make a run. Weiss hangs on for the win. Sandercock second, and then it's Dale, Haskell, Pinsino in the 0. That was a fun race to watch. I'm not sure if Charlie was real impressed with that.
So late models get one into the record books here. The Pro Fabrication late model division here at Humberstone Speedway. First car out onto the track for heat race number 2 is going to be the 66 out of Grand Point, Ontario. The Gerald Lauzon Trucking, Dover Sanitation, Countertops Unlimited 2, 66 of Tyler Lauzon. Rolling out in that second machine, the 05. Mike Lewis out of Wallaceburg, Ontario. The Mike's Delivery and Assembly Fat Guy Racing Rocket 05. And we see the 9 of Brian Sudsbury, the great Canadian RV. Alma Mechanical, Jeff Dultroy. Royal LePage, Cochrane Automotive, number 9. That's Brian Sudsbury. To his outside is where we'll find the 89 Austin King. 85 rather of Austin King out of Port Hope, Ontario. The Duramax, excellent in tooling. RB Brooking, Tree Service, Signs Flooring. Machine of Austin King. Then we see the 03, another 03, and I don't have one 03 on my list tonight here. Not sure who that is. We'll get the information on that. The 87, that'll be Andrew Hennessy, as we got bumper tag on the green flag. Mike Lewis goes around, and that will put us under the caution quickly.
Well, I'm sure somebody on our chat feed is going to tell us who drives the 03 machines, because that's just how they are.
So also out there, the 87 from Picton, the Thousand Island RV, Bellevue Fabricating, Deerhaven Polaris 87. That's Andrew Hennessy driving the Charlie Sandercock team car. And this is where we find the RH94 of Jason Haskell. So we'll have to find out who the RH03 is as well.
Oh.
I don't believe it's Greg Haskell. He is usually the RH21. So we'll track that information down, hopefully.
We love learning new things. Mrs. Rinaldi says Gowdy, not Goody. Does she still correct you? You're going to put up with that? I would.
Someone at one point told me it was Goody. Gowdy. Okay.
I don't know either way, but I do know who's the boss.
Back to the green flag. We'll try it again. Mike Lewis, much better start there, along with the 66 of Tyler Lauzon, who really put on a show, if you'll recall, last year in our Northern Summer Nationals at Weekend Speedway. That 66 car, he gets it done. Tyler does in that machine.
And he sure does work hard. Look how early he's lifting into the turns. Watch how King closes in down the back straightaway when Lauzon lifts. He drives like 8 car lengths deeper than Lauzon, but when Lauzon gets back on it, he means it. That's insane to watch how early Lauzon lifts. But he's able to power off. Craig, watch this. It's like he has a problem halfway down the straightaway, but he's just backing up the corner.
And that's exactly what I remember him doing last summer, and he really put on a show doing that. Meanwhile, he's got Austin King in the 89 right behind him, and Andrew Hennessy.
Looking for racing room behind him as Lauzon gets sideways off of turn number 4. King and Hennessy not really able to capitalize.
4 laps in, 4 to go. Leader Mike Lewis already down in corner number 3 while this battle takes place behind him for second. Lauzon, King, and Hennessy. They work it off at corner number 4. Oh, Lauzon goes around and keeps it going.
360 keeps it going, loses 5 spots there, so not a great transaction for Lauzon. Out in front, Lewis leading the way by a full straightaway.
2 laps left to go. 6 complete here in the second qualifying heat for the Pro Fabrication late model division. White coming out for Mike Lewis, who got spun around on that initial start and has not looked back.
Trouble in turn number 2.
The 0-3, so I'm being told by Amy Dale, she let me know very nicely, the RH03 is Greg Haskell. That's what threw me off. I've always known Greg in the RH21, Jason in the RH94.
Now, when you said she told you very nicely, are you insinuating that Angie Rinaldi did not tell you very nicely? You just want to be crystal clear here, Greg. If you're making a statement here, I'm
had nothing to do with that.
I'm staying on the fence.
But thanks. yeah, because you're known for that.
Listen, I don't like trouble.
Was it Angie or Diane that said that?
It was Angie.
Oh, okay. I'm afraid of Diane.
I'm afraid of Angie. In fact, I think I'm afraid of anyone named Angie. It's a healthy fear.
Well, yeah, when you're married to one.
Yeah.
Come back to the green flag. Mike Lewis in the 05 and strong since the drop of the green, but here comes Andrew Hennessy. He's going to have a shot at it, and boy, did he get a restart.
Hennessy charges to the inside. Let's see. Nobody's really been able to make the... Well, I was going to say, when I said nobody, Charlie Sandercock had trouble trying to make that move on Kaylee Weiss, but Hennessy able to complete that pass.
White flag is out for Andrew Hennessy out of Picton, Ontario in that Thousand Islands RV, number 87. Lewis losing ground off of corner 2.
Down through 3 and 4, checkered flag in the air. It's going to be Hennessy over Lewis and King. That is your top 3. Sudbury 4th. Lausanne fights back to a 5th place finish.
Third qualifying heat about to roll out onto the track. Kenny Winfield will lead the way out of Ridgeway, Ontario. The Bills Toyota K&J Trucking at 82. And behind him, out of Charing Cross, Ontario, the Autotech Auto Sales, Rollies Rotary Ditching, Gincor Trailer Works, 43. Cody Vandewinkle.
Gotcha.
Okay. Then the 34, out of Chatham, the LoopTech Express Care, J&D Johnson Trucking, Jack Smith Fuels 34, Jimmy Jones. And the 00, that'll be Mike Dale out of Chatham in the Redneck Garage, Jim Dale's Garage, and Little Rocket Speed Shop. The 53, a late driver change there, Matt Sorrell out of Dresden in the Viltec Trailers. Mansell Excavating Magnum Signs 53, the 00 of Ryan Gowdy out of Gravenhurst, Ontario, the Muskoka Aircraft Center, Hypercoat Downing, Muskoka Custom Cottage Rentals 00. And the 36 machine of Eugene Hoekstra out of Blenheim.
Hoekstra's a fun one to watch, as I recall, getting a little bit mixed up there at 1 and 2 on the start. He's going to have to rebound and try it all over again from the back of the field.
I can't say I've seen him in a late model before. Always in the UMP Modifieds when they make the visit this way, or anytime I've been down to Chatham, but let's see what he can do. He's at the back of the pack right now. Kenny Winfield out in front.
So Winfield, this is home track. Lots of laps at this place in different types of race cars. He holds the lead down through turns 1 and 2, running the bottom of the racetrack.
Vandewinkle right behind him in the 43. Gets a good run through corner number 4 as they work it off across the stripe. Winfield's got the spot. Here comes the challenge in 1 and 2.
Vandewinkle let the car come up out of turn number 4, used a lot of racetrack to carry his momentum. Didn't really have anywhere to put it in turn number 1. Let's see if he does it again. He takes a much wider sweep off the corner. Gets a nice run on Kenny Winfield.
Eugene Hoekstra pulled off that last lap as the battle is on to the front, just past the halfway mark. 4 laps in, 4 to go. Winfield leads. Vandewinkle right there in that second spot. Jones running third.
Winfield not able to get away. from second place Van de Winkle. They've got a big advantage over the third spot, but a fun battle for the lead out here as they race into 3. Winfield, I don't want to compare it, but it's almost like an asphalt line. Eases the car down into the turn on the bottom, comes off the corner, very controlled. As I say that, he lets the car get loose, but it is a very steady line Kenny Winfield's running.
Jones and Gowdy right now going at it for that third spot. And here come the top 2 across the stripe, white flag in the air.
One more time around, Winfield leads the way. Van de Winkle looking to make a move, gets a run through the center of the corner. Again, nowhere to put the car to make it work.
Checkers coming out. Final qualifying heat for the late models. The win will go to Kenny Winfield. Just barely at the line. Over Cody Van de Winkle. The 34, Jimmy Jones. And then the 00 of Ryan Gowdy. The 00 of Mike Dale Jr., the 53 of Matt Sorrell and Eugene Hoekstra pulling off partway through that qualifying heat. So the Pro Fabrication late models wrap up their qualifying, and next up on the racing surface is where we'll see the Shuriken Speedway Racehorse Action Sprint Tour for their first qualifying heat of the evening. And we will have 4 in total here tonight. 28 cars have made the trip here to Port Colborne, Ontario at Humberstone Speedway. Starting on the pole, heat race number 1 from Smithville, Ontario, the Schneider Electric J&E Recovery JNS Heating and Air Conditioning 1A of Paul Klager. Lining up second from Freelton in the DJD Graphics 3M Dryden Racing 12 Double D, it's Darren Dryden. Going from third from Waterloo, the Velocity Mechanical ILA Sports Inline Electric 19D, Alan Downey. And from the 4th position from Hagersville, the Tim's Tire Enrium Glenn Stires Racing 14T of Noel Teal. Going from the 5th position from Kitchener, the Larka Custom Machining Can-Am Steel Products RCM Racing Equipment 50 LS of Adrian Staley. And from the 6th position from Oshwegan, the Canada Fuels Hills Racing Ackland Insurance 9C of Brian Nanakoke. And going from the 7th spot, his first race in one of these crate sprint cars from Brantford, the Horvath Auto Parts, Martin's Auto Body, Advantage Powder Coating 48, Lance Erskine. And if you've been at the micro sprint track over the last number of years, Lance Erskine has been busy winning on that micro sprint track at Oshwegan Speedway, and now he's into the crate sprint car division.
So exciting. So exciting when you get fresh blood move on up. Hopefully he's going to do a great job. He sure has been impressive in the micro sprints, Greg, like you say. Wins a lot of races.
So tonight he will actually be in one of Derek Lemaire's cars, because it looks like he has the 56, which is taped to be a 58. So not, as I have seen photos of Lance in his own machine, I believe, and he'll be in the typical bright orange Burger Barn 58 tonight.
I can promise you he is not in Derek Lemaire's seat.
No.
He could bring his dad along with him and sit alongside of him if he had Lemaire's seat in there. Lemaire, a big fella.
Action Sprint Tour, second race for their season. Of course, got things kicked off a couple of weeks ago at Merrittville as they get ready to take the green flag. Paul Klager, Darren Dryden. This one underway.
Side by side down into 1 and 2. Klager backed up the corner as Dryden drove it in a little harder, but Klager comes off the turn with a better run there, so they remain side by side in 3 and 4. Dryden going to squirt out to the front. Downey falls into that 3rd position.
Darren Dryden looked so good at Merrittville Speedway, really picking his abilities up in the sprint car division noticeably from 1 year ago, where he's starting to get the feel for it, and now he is really starting to flex some muscles in that 12 DD.
Yeah, Darren Dryden, we spoke about this at Merrittville, about how many championships are represented in this Action Sprint Tour division, and I never did put a number to it. But in this race alone, I know Darren Dryden has been a champion, Paul Klager has been a champion, Adrian Staley, I believe, has been a champion, Lance Erskine's been a champion, so has Brian Nanakoke. So that is all but 2.
And I believe Noelle Teal, I'd have to check the record books, but I believe she has a championship in the micros.
And when we say that, like Darren Dryden is go-karts and TQ midgets and vintage modifieds. Paul Klager in the mod lights was a champion many times over. Staley, I believe in karting would have been a champion. Lance Erskine in micro sprints, and then Brian Nanakoke multiple times in the Pro 4 division on asphalt.
Time by, it'll be one lap left to go for Darren Dryden, the DJD Graphics number 12. DD comes across the stripe, one more trip around with Paul Klager in tow in that second spot, but he's a good distance off.
Klager's car doesn't look to be quite right for him just yet. He's struggling. He enters the corner, gets down in there, and then the car bobbles a little bit, whereas Darren Dryden is able to turn the car into the corner and really maintain his momentum. Dryden to the win, Klager second, Alan Downey third, Noelle Teal fourth, Staley fifth, Lance Erskine, how about that? Sixth spot right behind Staley. And then Brian Nanakoke in the 9th seat. So
heat race number 1 into the record books for the Ohsweken Speedway Race Source. Heat race number 1 for the Action Sprint Tour. And heat race number 2 getting set to come out. So that was 5 champions in that race, and we have Noelle Teal as a not sure. I'm actually going to do it, Greg. I'm going to tally these up. Heat race number 2 onto the track, starting from the pole out of Brampton in the Lifto Limited Toyota Industry Equipment East Penn Deca Battery 70mm Dave McKnight. Starting in second from Beachville in the Castrol Wilds Printing Advantage Powder Coating 5 as DJ Christie. From the third spot from Mount Bridges in the Ackland Insurance Pride Seeds Vibrant Farms 45, that is Nick Sheridan. Going from fourth from Milton in the Radio Shuttle Neely Auto Service. Where's Napa 74, Rob Neely. Starting in the 5th position, the defending champion for the Action Sprint Tour from Beamsville, the Part Source J&E Recovery, Julie Swayze Remax 88H. Josh Hansen from 6th spot. From Ancaster, the Hallett Home Improvement, Young's Pumps 51, Trevor Young. And going from the 7th and final spot from Ridgeway, the 4W, Tyler Winger. So as they run through this field, was Christie a champion coming up through? Because we know Sheridan was. Dave McKnight has numerous championships, TQ Midgets, Super Modifieds. Rob Neely has championships under his belt. Josh Hansen, I don't know a ton about Hansen moving up through, but I gotta believe in the younger ranks he was. Yeah, in the karts, yes. And I believe so for DJ Christie at Grand Bend. If he didn't, he should have, because he was that good. So that's 5 again in this heat. The reason I bring it up, Greg, and we've explained it, when you are a champion, when you have high expectations of where you're going to finish, you just race differently. You tackle it differently. Green is out in qualifying heat race number 2. 3 wide for the top spot, and the wily veteran comes out of the corner. One of the young guns doesn't. Yeah, that did not work out real well for DJ Christie. Dave McKnight, it worked out okay for him in that 70 lift-tow machine. Now Sheridan going to try to take the Vibrant Farms 45 around the outside, but that did not work. And look at Hansen. Johnny on the spot picks up the 2nd spot. Rob Neely 3rd. And we're getting some great looks from on board the Sheridan machine. Dave McKnight holding down the lead over Josh Hansen. Rob Neely back there in 3rd. Sheridan now, problems for Dave McKnight. That's 3 laps in a row where someone has had issues in corner 2 and coughed up a spot within the top 3. He's been running that line every time. He goes into 1 and 2, and he's kind of going to let the car hesitate, go through the slick before he gets into the traction, but McKnight doing a nice job. This is the best drive we've watched him have. Yeah, by far for Dave McKnight, doing a nice job there riding that 2nd spot. He's got another wily veteran right behind him, and Rob Neely.
McKnight showing some patience, and he's got to let these spots go, right? He's having a good drive, maintain his composure, learn a little bit from everyone that goes by him, how they enter the corner, how they drive through the corner. Again, it goes back to that conversation of former champions. Champions figure things out. Sheridan has a problem, goes off at turn number 2. That's going to cost him a couple of spots.
2 laps to go for Josh Hansen, and he is someone that started very young in sprint cars and very quietly has been just, I'd like to say he's been impressive, but it's almost like you expect it from him because he's been so good since he got behind the wheel of a sprint car.
And you're right, quietly is the way to say it. He drives ferociously, but when he gets out, he's very mild-mannered, doesn't have an awful lot to say about things. We got a great battle for third coming off at turn number 2.
Checkers coming out. Josh Hansen will pick up the win across the stripe in the second spot. Rob Neely, third at the line. We'll go to Dave McKnight, I believe.
No, third to the 4 machine.
Oh, Tyler Winger was up there. Sorry.
Yeah, Tyler Winger had a great drive. And again, Tyler Winger, I don't know if he has been a champion of anything. I don't know much about him at all, to be honest.
So Tyler Winger, impressive there, up to the 3rd spot. For Nick Sheridan, Dave McKnight, DJ Christie, and Trevor Young as the 3rd qualifying heat now makes its way out onto the racetrack. Derek Lemaire will go from the pole out of Hamilton in the Burger Barn Petro Plus Aiken Motors 56. From the outside, out of Wayne Fleet, the Sundance Pressure Washing, Castle Plumbing, Overhead Door, BS 39, Brett Stratford. From the 3rd position, from Brantford, JDL Distributing, National Building Group, Gales Auto Aftermarket 49L, Lucas Smith. And starting in 4th from Binbrook, the Chaston Float Service, Heinz Masonry, Mac Tools 29, Liam Martin. In the 5th starting position, St. Catharines, Ontario's Mike Bowman making his 2nd sprint car start, and he was on the podium at Merrittville Speedway driving the 7-Star Express line. Shane Renovations Baker Performance 26X back there in 6th. Port Perry, Ontario's Daryl Pelche in the Brass Inc. White Feather Farms, Comer Heating and Air Conditioning 77. And from Mount Hope in car number 2, it'll be Lee Winger. Mike Bowman gets his 2nd start behind the wheel of a sprint car. I talked to him after his first outing at Merrittville, and he said that was, he hadn't raced in a sprint car before. He'd had a little bit of practice prior to that event, but he said, oh, I got to work on it. I drive it too much like a modified. Well, if that worked and got him on the podium, imagine if he changes things up to where he thinks he needs to be, he'll be that much better.
And you can expect it for sure. So let's go through. We won't really, well, we can count Mike Bowman because even if Terry Baker was driving the car, he's been a champion. Brett Stratford has many championships. Derek Lemaire, yes. Lucas Smith, yes. Liam Martin, yes, coming through. Mike Bowman does. Now my memory is shot. 77.
Daryl Pelche, I don't have a history on, but Lee Winger, obviously, yes.
So there's 6 cars in that heat. We're up to 16 championship drivers. Victory Lane has room for 1.
Green flag coming out, 3rd qualifying heat for the Action Sprint Tour. And Stratford on the outside of Lemaire down into corner number 1. Oh, Pelche off.
Pelche doing donuts down there off of 1 and 2. Can't quite tell if he's kept the car running or not, but no, I believe it's come to rest.
Darrell making his 2nd start in the Action Sprint Tour, and that is the former Brandon Morrell, number 19, sold that equipment. So Darrell getting accustomed to these crate sprint cars, and car still in one piece down there. He'll get pushed back out onto the racetrack.
And talk about Brett Stratford on the outside of row number 1, Greg. There was an era where he was the hired gun. When it came to oval go-kart racing, there was nobody better anywhere. It doesn't matter where you looked, where you went. Brett Stratford was at the top of that game, particularly indoors. He was amazing indoors.
Back to the green flag. Derek Lemaire and Brett Stratford will lead them down into corner number 1. Stratford looked low and now drifts up high in corner 2, and Lucas Smith will shoot by into second.
Good move for Smith up the inside. Liam Martin looking for room as well to do the same thing. Stratford hangs on tight on that outside, fends off Liam Martin for that go-round, and they'll race off at turn number 2, still wheel to wheel.
Lemaire leads, stretching the advantage over Lucas Smith. Then it's Liam Martin back there in third. Stratford finds himself in the 4th position. Mike Bowman riding in 5th. Mike doing double duty tonight. He's got the crate motor in his modified, so he'll join us momentarily with the Sportsman division.
Bowman following Brett Stratford around. They've got a history together. They again, going back to the go-kart days, the Hamilton Kart Club up on Highway 6 back in the mid-90s. Maybe early 90s. Out in front, though, Derek Lemaire. Again, he's raced at every go-kart club. He was a great kart racer back in the day. Lemaire out in front by a handful of car lengths over Lucas Smith. Smith, one of the more aggressive drivers in this action sprint tour, always seems to find his way to the front of the field, but he's been able to close into about that 8 car length gap, but he hasn't been able to get any closer to Lemaire.
Lemaire doing a nice job in that. Burger Barn Ace 1 Construction, Aiken Motors 56, works it off of corner number 2. Lucas Smith there in second. Liam Martin all by himself in third. Got a nice gap in front, one behind. Coming to the white flag.
Mike Bowman is having fits with the 39 of Brett Stratford. He is trying everything he can think of to make a move on the black 39. To look to the outside down into turn number 1. Out in front, it's Derek Lemaire hanging on through 3 and 4. He is going to, Lemaire gets up over the cushion, but he'll win it over Lucas Smith. Third to Liam Martin. Who's it going to be in 4th? Bowman around the outside. Wow. He'll pick up the spot over Brett Stratford.
He wanted that, and he got it. So Mike Bowman takes 4th, Stratford 5th, Lee Winger in the 6th spot, and 7th, Darryl Peltier. One more qualifying heat to go. The Ohsweken Speedway Racehorse Action Sprint Tour. Tyler Ward will go from the pole. He's from Woodstock in the Racing for Mental Wellness, Canadian Custom Excavating. Henderson Powder Coating, 29W from the 2nd spot from Six Nations. The Styes Tree Service Enriam Ohsweken Speedway 20, the Iceman, Johnny Miller. Starting in 3rd from Stouffville, the Transport Sales and Service Instapanels, Hunsinger Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical R52, the Gunslinger, Ryan Hunsinger. And from the 4th spot from Font Hill, the Glow and Go Tanning, Glenholm Motors, Semidux SO08, Stephen Beckett. Starting in 5th, out of Port Colborne, the Jennifer Hatch Coldwell Banker, A to Z Expediting, Weldstar 5D of Jacob Dykstra. And from the 6th spot from Waterloo, the Velocity Mechanical ILA Sports Inline Electric 19D of Alan Downey. And going from the 7th spot out of Jerseyville, the Paris Factory Rides, Kevin Kuntz, Matt Coe, Brian Martin Reel, the State 49C, Cody Smith. And I apologize, that is not Alan Downey because he is in the, that's Charlie Lynch in the Plane 19. Quick Thorold in the Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center Surge Auto Glass Concept 1 fabrication. Sorry.
I was gonna wait till the end and correct you politely there, Greg. Because it can be challenging. You know, it's not like people will look on the screen and say, well, why can't you see that's a different car? Well, because you're looking at a different screen trying to make sure you get things right. It's stressful. I'm glad you're doing lineups for the next couple of shows.
Looking forward to see what Charlie can do. He was, to say he's pumped is an understatement from when I talked to him, and he's excited here for this. He spent time in Sportsman division.
I've never seen a viewer from Salt Lake City, Utah, so I'm pretty excited about that. Welcome to the show, Gary. And then I read the next comment, Greg. I'm not even going to tell you what name that is, but it's one of the classics. Last name Normus. And because I'm 12 years old on the inside, I don't like it just makes me giggle. Knock it off or we'll remove you.
Fourth and final qualifying heat for the Action Sprint Tour. Tyler Ward, Johnny Miller. The Iceman on the outside, Tyler Ward on the bottom. And here comes Johnny. Oh, he makes it stick with a nice move. And here comes Jacob Dykstra now to the bottom.
Ryan Hunsinger's car did something funny going into turn number one. It looked like it wasn't coming up to power, but he's running there in the 5th spot. A little bit off the pace in that R52, but out in front is the Iceman. And what a start for Dykstra to launch himself up to that 2nd spot.
Johnny Miller in that Stiles tree service. Glenn Stiers Racing, number 20. Again, he's looked smooth and steady since making the move to the Great Sprint Car Division. As has that kid behind him, Jacob Dykstra. I mean, he was competitive the first night out, and it was one of those ones where you knew he was going to be good, but you didn't realize he was going to be that good that quick.
No, you're absolutely right. Beckett goes around Ward for the 3rd spot, so put the 08 up into 3rd. He'll see if he can close in at the halfway mark, Rat. Johnny Miller out in front. Jacob Dykstra 2nd. Then it's a big gap back to Beckett. And again, if we're counting championships, I believe we've got 4 or 5 again in this qualifier, Greg.
Johnny Miller grew up through the Humberstone Speedway micro sprint program. Very successful driver there. He's out in front. Jacob Dykstra holding on to the 2nd spot. And of course, sprint car fans in this area know the Dykstra name and his dad, Dave Dykstra. Man, he's one of those drivers I miss seeing on a weekly basis. He was a show in himself sometimes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A one-man highlight reel.
White flag on the field for Johnny Miller, and he's got a large contingent of fans.
His fans come from all over the place, and I'll bet you they'll chime in the chat here if he's able to hang on for this. Final time through 3 and 4. The Iceman going to take the heat race win. 2nd to Dykstra, 3rd to a fast closing Beckett, 4th to Ward. Nice job for Tyler Ward. Rounding with the top 5, Ryan Hunsinger, and then it's Charlie Lynch and Smith in the 49C.
Cody Smith back there. So that wraps up qualifying for the Action Sprint Tour as we get ready now for the Dirt Sportsman. As they head out onto the racing surface, brought to you by Costco Haulage. And another full field to Sportsman division. We got our first look at them at Marinville Speedway 2 weeks ago, and many of these drivers returning here tonight to take part in this program. First out onto the racetrack, Justin Sharp out of St. Catharines, the Blue Moon Potato Sharp Auto Center Quick Dry, number 8S. And behind him, Todd Gordon out of St. Catharines in car number 5. Then we've got the 108. Billy Bleach from Thorold in the Rick's Delivery South Niagara Speed Shop 108. Going from 4th in the SOS Towing Rockway Decorative Concrete and Stone Platinum Auto Body 28, Mitch Dumont. Going from spot number 5 from Port Colborne, Smithville RV, Nichols Street Clothesline, Port Colborne Laundry, 21P of Tyler Pachalski. And going from his outside in the 6th spot out of St. Catharines, the Robert Sennett Designs Flanagan Race Car Fabrication and Supplies, CG Motorsports 35 of Brandon Gruel. Inside of the next row, going from the 7th position, that'll be Rob Sauter out of Port Colborne, the West Pier Marine Industrial Supply Rick's Delivery, Robitaille Racing 4S. And then we've got the 62 of John Badian out of Port Colborne, the TC Deckel Star. And starting at the tail in this one, Doug Walsh out of Fort Erie, the Junior Walsh Construction, Chesney Mobile Wash, Precision Automotive 20J. So 9 cars make the call. 8 laps will be the distance as we get ready to go. The Costco Haulage Sportsman Division.
Sharpie gets on the loud pedal down. We come to the green flag and we're underway with Sportsman qualifying heats. A good start for Sharp, a good start for Bleach in second as well. Isn't that 108?
Down the backstretch they go. Sharp, oh, little contact there between Gordon and Bleach. The 5 of the 108. A little bumper tag there as they come off of 4. Sharp leads a lap over Gordon. Here comes Bleach looking low in 1.
Gordon was using a little bit of racetrack. I don't think Bleach wanted to hit him. I think he just wanted to change lanes real quick. But he's got his hands full trying to battle that 5 machine. Really has to check up there between 3 and 4.
Sharp out in front, that beautiful Blue Moon Potatoes, number 8S, pulling away from that battle for second between Todd Gordon and Billy Bleach. Then you got a good solid run for Brandon Gruel back there in the 4th spot. Rob Sauter now moves up to 5th.
Yeah, if we can get some eyes on this battle for second, that's a fantastic race. Gordon hanging on over Bleach, Gruel. The gang is all there battling for that second spot, and nobody's able to make it stick.
Halfway through, 4 in, 4 to go for Justin Sharp, and it's smooth sailing for him right now, but from second on back, they are all right there in contention. As Gordon goes up high, Bleach slips down to the inside line.
Yeah, Bleach gets a good run out of 2, way down on the bottom of the racetrack. He can't quite clear Gordon, though. Gordon fights back on the high side. Who's going to get the spot through 1 and 2?
Two laps left to go for Justin Sharp. Billy Bleach in second, Todd Gordon third, Brandon Gruel there in 4th, 5th. Rob Sauter. Leader off of corner 4 to the white flag.
Sauter gives a push to Gordon down the back straightaway. So they take the white flag. Gordon over Gruel. Gruel down on the inside. Sauter with nowhere to go right now, and he just had to check up for Gruel, who got sideways in the corner.
Checkers out, Justin Sharp picks up the win over Billy Bleach, Todd Gordon. Rob Sauter slips up to the 4th spot. Brandon Gruel and Tyler Cholsky there in 6th. John Babby in 7th, 8th. That's where we'll find Mitch Dumont, and then the 20J of Doug Walsh getting ready for Costco Haulage heat race number 2, and going from the pole. And the Seaway Fluid Power Ryco Santabon Auto and Truck Repair 71, Mike Bowman. Mike out of St. Catharines. And right behind him from Fenwick, the Robar Heavy Equipment Training. Primax Energy, Big Country Raw 74, Taylor Vanderzanden. Back in the 3rd starting spot, doing double duty tonight as well, along with Mike Bowman. In car number 13 from Thorold, the Home Hardware St. Catharines, Scott Vine Auto and Tire Clinic, Performance Heating and Air 13, Daniel McKay. And going from the 4th spot back there in the 23, that is Nathan Peedy out of Ridgeway, Ontario, the Max Sim Small Engine Repair, MJ Creations, Teeny Tiny Angels Daycare 23. Going from spot number 5 out of St. Catharines, the one at Merrittville Speedway in the Bellinger Electric Gross Motorsports 18R, Brad Rouse. Then we've got the 09 out of Beamsville, the Central Fabricating, Alexander Awnings, MJ Hunter, 09 of Trevor Wright, and the 12 out of Port Colborne, the Williamson Welding Bricks Delivery, Bill's Toyota, for 12 of Heavy Chevy, Chad Chevalier. And also out there in the 99P from Port Colborne, in the Gaston Auto Sales, Atkinson Delivery, and Bobcat Services, Bremfield's 99P, Frank Penante.
Bit of a ragged start there. I'm not sure if drivers knew where they were supposed to be, or if they were in the right spots. I don't think that's the order that you listed them starting in, Greg, but...
Honestly, I have nothing.
My bad.
That portion, not going so well.
Didn't mean to expose that.
I think it's evident. Green flag, we'll try it again, and they're already 3 wide down the front stretch.
No point in wasting time. 4 wide out of turn number 2. Brad Rouse down low. Greg Penante, the second one wide. They get through there for second and third spots. A couple of drivers that have spent a lot of time racing together at this place.
And they are going at it. Wow, look at this battle for the second spot. Penante up high, Rouse on the bottom, and Chad Chevalier now entering into the mix as well as Mike Bowman leads.
Yeah, Bowman out in front. Let's not even talk about Bowman. We'll watch this battle for a second with Penante, Rouse, Chevalier. Wright moved up from the last place starting spot. He runs in the 5th position. It's about to be a 4-car battle for that second spot. No disrespect to Mike Bowman. He's just all by himself out front.
He is hooked up and gone. The Sportsman motor in the car here tonight. Greg Penante settling in second. Brad Rouse there in third. Then it's Chad Chevalier fourth, and Trevor Wright with a nice job. He's gotten himself up there to position number 5.
Down the front straightaway, Penante with a couple of car lengths over Rouse, another couple of car lengths over Chad Chevalier. And we're not certain, I'm not certain how they're doing the redraw or the invert for tonight. So you've got to make sure that you're in that invert or the redraw. And I can't imagine it'll be the top 4. So Chad Chevalier's got to get a move on, try to get around Brad Rouse.
Mike Bowman through 3 and 4 comes across the stripe. 2 laps left to go for Bowman. Over Penante, Rouse, and here comes Chevalier.
Chevalier put a nose under Brad Rouse down in 3 and 4. He is a difficult driver to pass, that is for sure. So Chevalier's going to have to try to close in and do it again, but he's got a good run as the white flag is flying for Mike Bowman.
Final time around, Bowman, Penante, and the battle continues to be for third. Rouse has it. Chevalier didn't get the best run into 1 that time.
No, he overshot turn 1, lost a lot of ground. I think that battle is done. Mike Bowman going to take the win. Penante to second. Brad Rouse third. Chad Chevalier fourth. Wright going to round out the top 5.
And it was Nathan Peaty, Taylor Vander Zanden, Daniel McKay completing the running order in that qualifying heat as another one locked, stocked, and ready to go. Jeff Penante out of Port Colborne, the Dandy Curb 66 leading the way out. Right behind him, he had a podium finish at Merrittville. From St. Catharines, the Kenny Upol Ohsweken Speedway, Brian's Tire. Number 20, the Mongrel, Jay Mallory. Back there in that third starting spot from St. Catharines, Posner Metals, Beach Road Steel Sales, 777, Cody McPherson. And then behind him, out of Stevensville, the Sterling Lubricants, Niagara Line, Finish Line, Niagara, San Vito's 25, Chris Hawkins. In the 5th starting spot, the inside of row number 3, that's where we find Adam Leslie at Port Colborne, the Sterling Lubricants, Santa Maud Auto, Tumble Home Lodge, 15. And on his outside, I believe that's Luke Carlton, is it? In the 26 from Port Colborne, Hingston Metal Fabrications, 26. And then in the back row is where we find Dave Flanagan out of Port Robinson, the Flanagan Motorsports Outlaw Chassis, Jeff's Bolorama 74, and the 72 machine. That is James Michael Friesen, I believe, is who they have in that machine tonight out of St. Catharines, the Advantage trailer, number 72.
Fresh body on that 72 car and a fresh number.
I had him on the roster as 52, but
Adam Leslie with a big move on Jeff Penante, then to the inside of Friesen. Friesen pulls him off at turn number 4 with the advantage. Now they'll go down into 1 and 2. Leslie maintaining track position on the bottom there. They'll drag race down the backstretch. Advantage Leslie.
Out in front, it's Mallory over Cody McPherson, and then that 26 of Luke Carlton, and then this battle we're watching, Adam Leslie and James Michael Friesen as they go down into corner number 1. Jeff Penante right behind him.
Yeah, it's interesting who's fast tonight, Greg. There's a lot of cars that weren't necessarily lightning fast at Merrittville doing great out here tonight, and cars that were real fast at Merrittville mired back in the pack. That's the fun thing about short track racing, that they're not huge differences from one track to the next, but it's enough that someone can get a big advantage.
The mongrel Jay Mallory on cruise control out in front. He had a fantastic run at Merrittville Speedway 2 weeks ago in that Kenny U-Pool car number 20. Out in front over Cody McPherson, Luke Carlton, Adam Leslie, James Michael Friesen, right now the top 5.
Leslie trying to close in on Carlton. I think that's our best battle on the racetrack, is that battle for third. As I say that, they're side by side at the back of the pack, but that race for third is something else. Leslie trying to work the inside on Luke Carlton.
White flag coming out on the field for Jay Mallory as he sends it down into corner number 1. That battle for third not over yet in the final lap. Here comes Leslie down to the inside of Carlton.
Carlton lets the car slide up a little bit there in turn number 2. Leslie will try to close in down the back straightaway. Checkers are out for the mongrel Jay Mallory. He's going to win this heat. McPherson second, Carlton third, Leslie fourth, James Michael Friesen in fifth. And here's what we get from Shane Pierce. The 52 is James Michael Friesen's personal car. The 72 is the ride he has with Gord McIntosh and Advantage Trailers. There you go.
So that has concluded qualifying heats, and when we return, we'll get things set up for any consolation events and our features here tonight. You're watching Operation Green Flag Mission, Humberstone Speedway.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GForceTV.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
I'm Adam Ross, and I sell Hino trucks. If you need a commercial truck, or if you work for a company that needs a commercial truck, email me. aross@mtg.ca. I'm a sales rep for Metro Truck Group, and I sell Hino trucks.
What you want to do is when you're on your computer or on your cell phone, whatever it is, go to GForceTV.net, type that in your browser, and that will take you right to the official YouTube page of GeForce TV. And down to the right-hand side, you'll see the big red subscribe button. Make sure you click on that. But don't stop there. Once you've subscribed, then you want to make sure you hit the little ringer to the right. That's the notification bell. And anytime there's new content uploaded to GeForce TV, you'll get a notification, whether it be on your computer, on your device, whatever it is, you'll know when there is content. And as we've been saying, it's so important when you're watching these videos on YouTube or for the meantime on Facebook, make sure you give it a thumbs up, give it a like, make sure you're sharing these links, and that helps the actual content grow and populate throughout YouTube, specifically for the GeForce channel.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome back to Humberstone Speedway. You get a look at the Weekend Speedway Racehorse Speed Shot down the front stretch. Some track work being done here as we have concluded qualifying heats here on Operation Green Flag Mission Humberstone Speedway on GeForce TV. Adam, some good quick qualifying here tonight, and things wrapped up pretty incident-free.
They really did, and I'm glad for that, because we're having some challenges with Clinton Jeffrey and the microphone and camera situation, but we're going to get that sorted out. I'm really pleased for that. You don't want to see stuff get torn up in the qualifying heats. We saw some contentious racing, but nothing really overboard. I have a feeling once the green flag flies for these feature events, the gloves come off, Greg.
Yeah, if Merrittville, our last race, was any indication, that was some wild racing. And go back to that Sportsman feature a couple of weeks ago. I think if we can get anywhere near. Now, obviously, Brad Rouse kind of took off and won that. Let's put that aside. But the racing that we saw from there on back, if we can see that again here tonight,
1-2, 1-2.
and I think we can definitely see that in Sportsman division. We're going to be in for a treat here this evening. We got you, Clint.
Sorry about that, Greg. I had to step away for a moment.
No problem. Well, I did hear Clint and Jeffrey there for a moment, but I know they're
because he's actually in the room.
Oh, I see. Okay.
They will. They'll get things sorted out. We've got a top-notch team here as the drivers and crews are out to check on the racetrack, and looks like we're turning over a little bit of clay in certain spots, but boy, I got to tell you, it's been great.
Yeah, Dave Bittner's put in a lot of work, and you see the amount of time they put into preparing events, and it's more than just race day. It's weeks in advance and making this all come together, and then the added stress of not having race fans in the stands, and that builds. And to see Dave tonight, you know he's having fun, but you can also see that he's going to rest well tonight when this is over.
The other thing this is a great demonstration to race fans all over the place that maybe hadn't considered coming to Humberstone. You know, when they see this, they go, wow, I like the way this track races. We should go check this out sometime. That's the real goal, and that's what this is being done for, to put on a show, but also to showcase some of the short tracks in and around Ontario. And we're excited, Greg, because over the next 6 to 8 weeks, I have a feeling we're going to be announcing a lot of events at different facilities as well that people can enjoy.
And, of course, next weekend, no broadcast, but the following weekend we will be busy. As we recently announced on Saturday, July the 25th, we'll be headed to Brighton Speedway, just east of Toronto, and they are going to run their late model division Canadian modifieds, Thunder stocks, along with their mini stocks / Comp 4 division. And that's going to be an exciting night. Always a fun trip to go to Brighton Speedway, and such a great atmosphere there. It's going to be weird without fans there. That's the part, because it is such a great atmosphere because of the fans, and that's going to be a fun night regardless, though, to see their 4 divisions finally get to race. And then the following night we will make up last night's Merrittville event, so that'll be on Sunday, July the 26th. And that will feature the small block modifieds, the Hoosier stocks, and the 360 sprint cars that we were supposed to see last night. And going to be a busy weekend in 2 weeks, and you can watch it all for free. GForceTV.net. When you go there, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you get the notifications on your device when new content is live or being uploaded.
You just click your ding-a-ling. I think we covered that earlier, right? Chuck Berry, 1972. You wouldn't even hum a few bars for me. For sport.
I don't want to get us taken off the air for copyright infringement. I may sing it so well that it will match.
That's where I was going. Wow.
Beautiful night here.
I was just about to say that, how nice it is. The flags have calmed down. The flags in the infield, the flags over the grandstands are still showing a fairly brisk wind from the back of the front straightaway over towards the pits. But we can still see the pits, so it's not that dusty.
You've never been to Humberstone Speedway, located just outside, just east of Port Colborne, Ontario, and it's literally right on Highway 3. And a very major highway. You can travel it all the way down to Windsor, basically. I know we used to take that trip when we were going to Michigan Speedway with friends, and it's right there on the highway, and a great facility. One of the best towers in short track racing in Ontario to come, and if you've never been in the tower, I know on a regular race night you can purchase an upgrade to sit in the tower.
I don't normally solicit sponsorship on the air, Greg, but if we've got friends out there who have access to director's chairs, because this tower is fantastic, but my butt can't handle too much of this.
Sorry, I thought we were going to bring...
You were so excited.
I was.
You're pointing and jumping up and down. I'm talking about a pain in the ass, and you're pointing to Clinton and all excited about him coming in. But wouldn't directors' chairs be nice as you're rocking from one leg to the other?
It's not in the budget, sir.
Well, that's why I solicited sponsors. So
if there are any director chair companies out there.
Yes, exactly. Now, we should ask at this point, Greg, because we know we've gotten to the point where we can hear Clint. Can Clint hear us? Because it's fun talking about him when he can't hear us.
You were especially unkind at Flamborough.
That was spontaneous.
That was a spit my water out moment if I'd been drinking. Man, that was...
Every now and then. It's the game within a game.
So just some final track prep going on. A few drivers taking a walk around the racing surface, and something that's a regular occurrence in most dirt tracks. You'll see drivers have a chance to get out there and take a trip around and just see what different sections of the track are doing after the qualifying heats in preparation for the feature. And oftentimes it's also to see what did the equipment do that went out there and where did they do it.
Yeah, it is valuable time. I've sometimes thought it's more time than is necessary. Go out there and race. The track's the same for everybody, but you know, the promoters that put the effort into this want the track to be a certain way, so got to give them that. People asking for halftime music.
Go ahead. You're the singer.
I can hum a few bars. Adam Ross, I'm going to be at Brighton, Brian, and don't be concerned about rain. That curse ended a long time ago. Mm-hmm. I no longer bring the rain to Brighton Speedway.
It's not what I heard.
Ed, our viewer, says he does pro wrestling commentary on occasion, and half of his fun is trying to get his partners to break. All of my fun is trying to get you to break.
To break?
Either laugh or have such a shocked look on your face that you can't possibly speak.
It's not the break I was looking for. I'm usually the one trying to get us to break so I can go to the washroom. Different break.
Different break.
I was literally out the door, 10 seconds after the final checker flag in the qualifying heats?
Yeah. Oh, you were gone.
Well, I had the big Gatorade and then a couple of bottles of water on the way, and halftime couldn't come soon enough.
I am on a weight loss program, a lifestyle program, Greg, so I'm done. All I got is water going into me at this point, so I'm watching people eat pizza. It looks lovely, by the way. Finally, there's pizza in the tower, and I can't touch it.
The pizza says, phew.
These are cute.
Clinton Jeffrey is trackside. Let's go to him now.
Down here on the track crew was just trying to make the decision. You got two things. You got really hard packed out here, and you can see starting to black out a little bit. Then you move over here, you've got this hard tack palk, and what is this like powder that gets smashed off the wall? And this is where a lot of the dust comes from. They've done a good job scraping this off to pick up as much of that as they can, but it's still very slick over here, guys. This track is going to be a tough one for these 4 divisions coming up, guys.
Thanks, Clint. Great job as always down there, and give us an inside look at what the track looks like after qualifying heats, because, man, it changes so much from where we were drop the first green flag in that first qualifying heat.
Yeah, it really does over the course of the night. And then the great dirt racers over the course of time are good at reading a racetrack, knowing what it's going to do. Heat races are fun. You win a heat race, it's cute to go under the checkered flag. First, it feels good, but the money and the points are always on the line come feature time. The racetrack is different because everything has changed. That's when you want to be fast.
Like things lining up over in the pit area for feature time for the Glow and Go Tanning Mini Stock Division.
Fran Bushart wishes Daddy's Money, Connor Ross, a happy birthday on Tuesday. He turned 16 years old.
Daddy's Money.
All he wants is a race car. He's barking up the wrong tree. But he's been working with Darren Dryden lately, working on his pit crew, learning a little bit about race cars. Saw him out there earlier walking the racetrack.
Happy birthday today to Josh Hansen in the Action Sprint Tour. And Josh will start from the pole tonight with the Action Sprint Tour in their feature event. As now the mini stocks roll out. 20 laps will be the distance for them here tonight. And Kyle Rothwell looks to be lining up on the pole here this evening. In car number 114, he's from Welland in the Rob's Transmission 114. To his outside will be Aaron Wostraw in the 71, the Fix Auto. 71W. He's from Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario. Go fast, Teeple. He'll be starting in position number 3 out of Thorold in the SOS Towing number 28 truck. And Craig Vlasic lines up on his outside from Welland in the Queenston Chevrolet Mateos Restaurante 44. Starting in position number 5, had a great comeback drive in his qualifying heat earlier on tonight from Wayne Fleet, the Niagara Recycling up front Motorsports 2EZ of Evan Curtis. And his outside, the winner from Merrittville Speedway from Niagara Falls, the Central Fabricating Sunflowers of Sanborn 10 of Jay Moulton. Back in row number 4 to the inside, the Kubota Canada. Club 54 Racing, car number 16 of Fabio Oliveri. And lining up on his outside, starting in position number 8, vacuum truck. Caldecott Millwrights, Twisted Alliance Racing number 1 of Jason Tolton. Starting in 9th. Out of Burlington, Gibbs Action Sport, Leggett Chevrolet, Let's Landscape Together, 01 of Tristan De Silva. And on his outside, from Welland in the Queenston Chevrolet, Golden Horseshoe Truck and Service, 71 of Leroy Buscom. Back in row number 6 is where we will find Vincent Pagnotta in the 13. He's from St. Catharines, the Northern Auto and Tire number 13. And to his outside, looks like that's where we'll find the SOS Towing number 13 of Dylan Lord. Dylan is out of Thorold. Back there in the 61 car, that's where we find Dave Small out of Port Colborne. The DSR Super Mario's Pizza Rectangle Auto Supply 61. And his line mate, that'll be Eric York in the 51 from Milton in the Can Alignment Part-Time Signs 51. Back in row number 8, Tyler LaFontese in the 96. He's from Welland in the Rob's Transmission 96. Outside of him, that'll be the 5 of Brian Obey. Out of Hamilton, the SOS Towing Eccles Auto Service number 5 truck. Then we'll find the 26 of Tim Newell. He's out of Hagersville. And alongside of him, Mark Bazine of the Burger Barn. Aiken Motors, Kingpin Farms 21X. He's out of Caledonia. John Myers out of Hamilton. And the Eastbound Massage, Hamilton Marble Slab. Pink's Burgers, number 22. The 91 of Olivier Larocque. The 53 also back there. We've got Matt Christie. The 88 of Braden Cuse. The 76 of Daniel McKay. The 9. That is Kevin Conley. The 6 of Tom Cole. And 12 of Mark Deagle. Green is out, our first feature of the night. The Glow and Go Tanning Mini Stock Divisions are on it.
Got it all in, Greg. Nicely done. Rothwell out in front. But I don't think we're going to see anyone run away and hide in this one. There is a lot of talent in this field, a lot of fast race cars as Evan Curtis makes it 3 wide out of turn number 4.
Kyle Rothwell has about a 2-car length advantage over Austin Wurstraw in that second spot. Craig Vlasic back there in third, and those hatchbacks doing a nice job out in front over that truck of Go Fast Teeple in the 28.
Watching the field storm down the front straightaway. Sometimes I catch myself being a real race fan, Greg, forgetting to say anything and just take it in. But out in front, it's Rothwell, but not much of an advantage. He's certainly not pulling away. Interesting light on the front bumper of that car.
Always a nice-looking machine for Kyle Rothwell. He does it upright. I'm not sure if he still has it or not, but also one of those drivers that has the mohawk on the top of the helmet, and he is a colorful character and fun to watch races. We've got one around in corner number 2, and that is Jason Tolton.
Tolton around the 13 truck, got a big piece of tractor tire.
Dylan Lord parked down there in the infield in that 13 SOS towing truck, and all sorts of parts in corner 2, but they don't appear to belong to Jason Tolton. His back bumper cover is off. It's come loose, but it's still attached. So I don't know if that's Dylan Lord's shrapnel laying up there or who that belongs to. Not sure if we'll have a chance to see a replay.
Tolton's car is not good.
No.
Great job by Sean Robertson to capture that from our rooftop camera. The vacuum truck's number 1 of Tolton going to limp that car back to the pits, and I believe that'll be it for him this evening.
20 laps in total tonight for the Glow and Go Tanning Mini Stock Division. Kyle Rothwell leads over Austin Wurstraw. Then it's the 44 Craig Vlasic, 20 of Go Fast Teeple, and Evan Curtis in the 2EZ. That's your top 5 right now. Jay Moulton back there in the 6th spot. Fabio Oliveri back in 7th. 8th is Leroy Buscom. 9th is Dave Small. And 10th is, I believe it's Vincent Pagnotta or Tyler LaFontese, as they're disputing. Maybe he thinks he's in 10th.
And Tolton stayed on the racetrack. Obviously, you know, it's hard to tell sometimes from the driver's seat how significant your damage is, but I believe the race director just went over the one-way radio to let him know he'd have to take that pit side and have the damage addressed. We circulate under the yellow flag. Looks like things are just about sorted out. Officials still working on race lineups. And I'm just taking a moment to see if we can't pull up a running order, but I don't think we have access to it.
No, I haven't seen one yet tonight.
We get the 13 truck up in the air. Lord's still in the truck, and I believe it might be fine. I don't know if they're going to tow him off or just set the truck down, because now that the tire's out from under it. No, it looks like the right front. Broken tie rod on the right front, maybe more than that broken, but yeah, the right front is not in agreement with where that truck should be. And Tolton is back on. So Tolton drives that car into the pits. Who would have looked at that one car and said, yeah, you're good, head back out there?
Tristan De Silva. Nice looking race car. It's got that chute up right front. I think that's the first I've seen that car in any sort of a mess, because the De Silva team keep it looking so good.
Yeah, they always do. Mark De Silva, his dad, does a great job preparing that car for him, and they all work together on it. He was fun to watch last year at Ohsweken Speedway. Really glad he was able to make the trip down here and do some racing tonight.
Picked up his first win the very last race of the year, if I'm not mistaken, and that was a popular victory. we're close to getting back to the green flag. Things will double up, and Kyle Rothwell says he'll take the outside.
And Tolton is still on the track in that one machine. So when this goes back to green, Greg, I think I'm going to let you call the start, and I am just watching that number one. Because I'm not sure what it'll do. You drive that hard down into the corner, it's either going to collapse and dig in,
or it's going to be the best setup he's ever had.
Stranger things have happened.
So Kyle Rothwell and Austin Worstro will bring us back to the green flag. Rothwell, the leader, restarts on the outside line. Pace car pulls off. Dow Auto pace car pulls off into the infield. Back to the green flag for the Glow and Go Tanning mini stocks here at Humberstone. Off they go. They all pick the lanes they want to go into down in corner number one. Out in front, Kyle Rothwell. Worstro in second, and their double file behind them.
For those of you scoring at home, Tolton made it through turns 1 and 2. He is 3 wide going into 3 and 4 on the inside. And problems alongside of him. Mark Bazine in the Burger Barn 21 makes contact with one car, and they both go off the racetrack. I believe we've got at least one flat right front tire.
Got up into the 53.
And that is much more than a flat right front tire.
Oh, wow. And heavy damage for our onboard camera car. Wow, a good shot there. See that tire tucked right up inside. And made contact with the 53 of Matt Christie going into corner number 3. Now, I don't know if something broke or if he just drove hard into the corner and the contact was made, but going into corner 3 is where everything happened, because it happened right in front of Jason Tolton.
Just as the push truck arrives, Matt Christie drives away. Field doubling up already, so this will be a much quicker break than we had last yellow. Remember, 20 laps is the distance. 4 laps are complete. I believe that's what the scoreboard says, Greg. Yeah, that's a 4.
Here we go, back to the green. Rothwell on the inside this time. Worstro on the outside as they'll go door to door down into corner number 1. Rothwell keeps it tight on the bottom. Ekes out a slight advantage, but Worstro had to back off going into 3.
Vlasic right there as well to capitalize, or to try to capitalize rather, but he'll stay back in that 3rd position. They're 3 wide for 5th.
Vlasic working the outside, and now Jay Moulton opens the door looking for 3rd. 3 wide behind them as Go Fast Steeple goes between Leroy Buscom and Evan Curtis.
Jay Moulton up to 3rd, Go Fast Steeple trying to follow him through on the inside in that 28 truck. But not only does he not follow him through, but we are back under yellow again, and Moulton and Vlasic rather come back around the outside to take the advantage in the 3rd spot.
Around in corner number 1, and that is Lightning Tom Cole down there in Brantford. Back the car up and get us back. Oh, that was close.
Oh, that was fun.
Field doubles back up behind the Dow Auto pace car.
Greg Wilson asked if we're planning on uploading any vintage races on the channel from like the 90s. First off, the 90s are not vintage. The 90s were a great decade. But no, we'd love to. I would love to get some content like that. Because races have been recorded since probably the late 90s, wouldn't you say, Greg? But it wasn't until the last few years that you started seeing races streamed and races being put up on YouTube.
Yeah, it's funny. I was thinking the other day, there's some oldies that I'd like to see, and I've got some at home that I think maybe we could get the proper agreements to get them uploaded and going, because there are some good ones, and from times when you and I got started, I think, in the announcing business, and that is a long time ago. Those are golden oldies now.
Yeah, I guess you're not wrong. Back under green, and Go Fast Steeple does not do well through turns 1 and 2. He is out of the top 10.
Jason Holton still holding on back there. Not having a fantastic run, but he's keeping pace with the pack.
He's like the Danica Patrick of this feature event. He's not in the top 10, but we're still talking about him. Just makes you wonder.
Worstra, meanwhile, out in front, grabs the lead away from Rothwell. And now here comes Jay Moulton. Evan Curtis. Oh, Curtis gets a good run, goes out to the outside. It's like 3 wide into. Nope, they're not going to make that happen into corner 3. Rothwell just too far into that lane. Here comes Curtis now right through the middle.
Not quite.
Nope.
Vlasic with struggles in that 44. He's now fallen back outside of the top 10.
Evan Curtis has had a super fast car since this one started. You remember in his qualifying heat, there were problems right off the drop of the green flag. He ended up going to the back and then back up to the front, and here he is trying to get by Kyle Rothwell into third.
Good battle side by side. Curtis edges out in front. Now he's going to take the second spot. Great set of turns for Evan Curtis. Put him up into P2, and let's see if he can close that gap.
Another driver that's made some gains, a couple of them. Tyler Lafontaine working his way through the field, and Olivier Larocque, if I'm not mistaken, started a little ways back in that 91. He's worked himself now up into the mix as well, just outside of the top 5.
Working through some slower traffic, nobody lifting. They're just all looking for racing room, and oh, contact there.
John Crash Myers up there off of corner number 1, looking to rejoin the surface, and he'll. Now looks like he may pull it into the pit area.
Yeah, Crash just puttering along there through 1 and 2. A big lead now for Worstra. Not quite half a straightaway, but let's see if Evan Curtis can close in. Man, did he ever come through turn 2 that time.
Yeah, good launch there away from Jay Moulton. Now trying to close the gap on leader Austin Worstra. As we got another one off the track down in corner number 1, Tim Newell in the 26. Looks like he's headed to the pit area as well.
Oh, he comes back up on the racetrack. I think he just wanted to stop. Look at the leaves. The foliage is beautiful.
Evan Curtis trying to close the gap. 15 on the board, 5 laps left to go in this one.
There's going to be some more traffic before this race is over. Right now, the slower cars are down to the inside, kind of staying to themselves out of the way, but you never know what's going to happen as they close in.
Evan Curtis within striking distance, and now the leader coming up on 2 cars racing side by side for position. Now we got one around in corner 4. Dave Small goes around. That brings us under the caution.
Well, this changes everything.
That it does. This will make the action pick up here in the closing laps. We should still officially be 5 laps left to go. I'm not sure they got that last lap completely in. Nonetheless, we're down to the nitty-gritty now, and it's time to see who's got what. And I think Evan Curtis might have something for Austin Worstra.
Well, I know that he's going to try. And we've watched Evan Curtis in the heat race make bold moves. We've watched him here work his way through the field. So I think he's going to take a big swing at this one. I believe within the last 5 laps we're going to be single file restarts, but I cannot confirm that just yet.
Still to come, the Pro Fabrication late models up next. 25 laps for them, 20 laps for the Humberstone Speedway Racehorse Action Sprint Tour, and then 25 laps for the Costco Haulage Dirt Sportsman. Plenty of racing action to come here on GeForce TV. Again, you can find us, GForceTV.net. Upcoming broadcasts on Saturday, July the 25th at Brighton, Sunday, July 26th at Merrittville Speedway. So go to GForceTV.net. Click on the subscribe button. While you're watching tonight, make sure you click on the ringer so you get the notifications when new content or live content is being presented on GeForce TV.
If there is a way, there will be a little sign on the page, Greg's Ding-a-ling, with an arrow to the join button, to the join ringer.
Omaha.
Green flag is back out.
Worstra got a good start, but here comes Evan Curtis. He's been so good in corner 2. I think that's been his corner.
Yeah, he uses some racetrack, but he comes off of there with a big head of steam. Comes in high in 3. He'll look low out of turn 4, right up on the back bumper of the race leader.
Here he comes. Oh! Little shake and bake. Went high, now goes down low to the inside of Worstra as they go down the back stretch into corner number 3, right into the sunlight. Who's going to get the advantage? Worstra takes it right down to the barrier.
And this time, Evan Curtis won't be able to come up into his driver's door, but that was the move in 1 and 2, and it definitely pointed him where he needed to be as we've got one around in turn 2. That's going to bring a yellow once again.
And that was right in front of the leaders. Kevin Conley went around and brings us back under the caution flag. There's going to be 2 laps to go. That may set us back 1 lap, as I don't believe they got enough of that lap complete. There should be 3 to go still when we get back to it.
Clinton Jeffrey is on the infield. Take it away, Clint.
Hey guys, just want to mention about Austin Westro. They had all kinds of fuel problems in the first few practices in the race they got last week at Merrittville, or a couple weeks ago. So watch for the 71. They look like they've got those fuel system situations sorted out, but it was a bad one for them. Certainly a big improvement tonight for Austin Westro.
Yeah, he's looking good right now. He's in the driver's seat, that's for sure. Greg Wilson asked, does Glenn or Dave have any tapes from the early days of the Big O pre-banking? And if I think if you wanted those, you would have to get a hold of Brent Mersey, Greg. I'd be curious what years he was shooting there.
That's BM before me.
Oh, jeez. You're BM. Clinton Jeffrey may have more.
That question that was asked, we are working on getting the vintage races back from Oshweekend, so it takes about 2 more weeks. We are dumping all the old DVs and the VHS tapes, so it's going to be awesome. Check it out. We're going to have some vintage stuff coming up very soon here on GeForce.
Awesome. According to the scoreboard, 18 laps are complete. This will be a 2-lap shootout to the finish. Green flag back in the air. Who's it going to be?
Worstra with a good start again, but Evan Curtis, let's watch him off at corner 2. This is where he makes up the most ground. This time Worstra got a good start, and 3 cars all go off the track in corner 1.
They all get themselves sorted out through turn 2. I believe they're going to get back on the racetrack. We're still under green.
That was the white flag that time by. Here comes Evan Curtis. He'll look low in corner number 2. Gets to the left rear fender and down the backstretch they go to the checkers.
He is not going to lift. Final time through 3 and 4. Worstra defends the bottom of the racetrack beautifully. What a drive by Worstra. Evan Curtis second. 3rd place to Moulton. And I saw Evan Curtis pumping his fist as he drove across the line at the checkers. would he be that happy with second place, or would he have been pounding the steering wheel, I wonder? We're going to find out, because Clinton Jeffrey is going to head down to Victory Lane and chat with all of these drivers. But that would...
It looked like a celebration to me. I saw exactly what you saw, and it didn't look like it was a situation of anger. He looked pretty excited to cross the line in second. He put on a great performance tonight.
He did. There was a few silly yellows in that race. Silly yellows are what I call it if someone spins and they draw the yellow instead of taking off again. Without those yellows, that was a really good mini stock race, Greg.
Yeah, it was. The competition, not just at the front, but throughout the pack, was excellent. And to watch some drivers move from the back, make their way to the front, just overall a great race there by the Glow and Go Tanning mini stock division. And another great one right here on Operation Green Flag. Tonight, Mission Humberstone Speedway getting set to go down to Victory Lane. And we'll hear from our winner, Austin Worstrow.
And here he comes. Austin Worstrow has gone over the scales back onto the track. These are the moments that make this so much fun to be doing this on GForceTV.
Looks like top three will make their way out. So Evan Curtis headed out, as well as Jay Moulton, who will get to hear from once again after his win at Merrittville Speedway.
And Clinton Jeffrey is in position. We'll leave this to him as he's down there coordinating things. Man, there's a lot going on down there in Victory Lane. Clinton Jeffrey, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Austin Westrow will get down here and we'll pick up the $1,000 as the mini stock winner here in the Glow and Go Tanning mini stock feature tonight. As we mentioned, some troubles with the car, but they've got it worked out. Here he comes out of the car now, Austin Worstrow. We'll get him over here to talk to him. Going to go give a high five to the crew and family here. And we'll bring him over here. So Austin Worstrow getting his cold drink and a new Humberstone hat and his G-Force mask, and will come around here to talk to us in the front. Austin, congratulations on your drive tonight. You know, we were talking about fuel system issues that you might have had in the past few weeks. You really got it together. This car ran flawless tonight. Talk about your night for us.
Oh, just amazing. Went out to practice at Merrittville. Thanks to Don for letting us come out. And thanks to all my sponsors. Evan Curtis ran a great race, clean. So thanks to Fix Auto, Pet Value, Thorold Auto Parts, Automotive Warehouse, and Exclusive Imprint.
Good job. Talk about the track here. It looks pretty good. A little bit dusty, but it blew off quick for you guys.
It was a good track. Bittner redid it this year, so bottom of the corner was nice and grippy and just straight perfect.
Last one we got for you. Talk about that last restart. Curtis was all over you. He laid the bumper to you clean, and you managed to fight him off.
Yeah, I felt him right there, so thanks to him for not taking me out. And
Austin Worstrow gets it done. We'll get over here and talk to Evan Curtis. Evan, solid second place run for you. You got to be pleased with how that worked out. You know, you were on his back bumper for that last restart. Took a couple shots at him, but you raced him clean.
Yeah, it was a good race at this track, man. It's so smooth and it's so wide. It's way different than last year. I got to prep my game. It doesn't really matter moving up next year. But that was an awesome race. Yeah, nice and clean. I was behind people for a while there, and then he slipped up. I got underneath him, and then it was smooth sailing. Pick a car off, a couple laps, and it was awesome. Glad to be here.
You're going to drop a bomb. You're moving up. We got asked to what?
Street stock.
You have it, Evan Curtis. Gonna get it done. We'll get over here and talk to Jay. Yeah, Jay, you were the winner at Merrittville, so no stranger to the podium. How can you be happy tonight with your run?
I'm very happy. It was a good race. It was a lot of fun.
Track looked really good for you guys tonight. Dave's done a lot of work. You happy with the surface?
It was fantastic. Very happy.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Austin Worstrow, Evan Curtis, and Jay Moulton, the top three here in the Glow and Go mini stocks at Humberstone. Guys.
Isn't that awesome when the second place driver is just as happy as the first? If he almost seemed more animated.
All of the top three basically saying, oh, it was good racing, it was a good show, and they care. they all want to go racing, Greg, but beyond that, they want to make sure they've put on a good show. And that's curious because a lot of racers, all they care about is to come out and race, and if they win, they're happy, and if they don't win, they're going to load up and go home. But the racers you want to build around are the people who are excited to be here, excited that things have gone well, and yeah, that was fun.
And I think when Dave Bittner goes back and watches this, he's going to take some pride in the fact that nothing but praise for the racing surface here tonight, all the hard work that Dave and the staff here at Humberstone Speedway have done. Well-deserved credit given for putting on such a great mini stock race. Well, it's time now for the Pro Fabrication late models, and starting from the pole in this one from Shrewsbury, the Redneck Garage, Dana's Kitchen and Catering 00, Jim Dale Jr. on the outside of him. From Trenton, Ontario, driving the Thousand Island RV, Bellevue Fabricating number 57, Charlie Sandercock. Going from the inside of row number 2, out of Bewdley in the Alma Mechanical Great Canadian RV number 9, Brian Sudsbury. And lining up on his outside from Charing Cross, the Autotech Auto Sales Rollies Rotary Ditching number 43 of Cody Vanderwinkle. Going off in position number 5, he's in the RH03 from Chatham, the LubeTech Performance Fiberglass and Marine L&M Racing, car number RH03. That is Greg Haskell. And on his outside in car number 89 from Port Hope, the Duramac Excellence in Tooling, RB Brooking Tree Service 89, Austin King. Back in the 7th starting position is where we find Ryan Gowdy out of Gravenhurst in the Muskoka Aircraft Center Hypercoat Downing car 00, and flanking his outside with a solid run in her qualifying heat tonight, the driver to Carrying Place of Dibbets Excavating and Landscaping Supply Eastern Overhead Door 77 of Kaylee Weiss. Inside of the next row, the 34 of Jimmy Jones. Jimmy Jones in that 9th starting spot. Coming to the green flag out of Chatham, the outside from Picton, Ontario, and the 87, that'll be Andrew Hennessy. We've also got Michael Lewis, Kenny Winfield, John Pinsino, Tyler Lazan, and the rest coming to the green flag. The Pro Fabrication late model feature event, 25 laps the distance underway, and Charlie Sandercock powers to the lead.
A little bit slow at the back of the field. I think there might have been a bit more dust than some of those drivers expected coming to the green. They all stayed out of harm's way, and clean and green for lap number 1.
Charlie Sandercock out in front. Jim Dale Jr. right now running in the 2nd spot. We got one going through the infield. That was a bit of an excursion there, but nonetheless, Charlie Sandercock leads over Jim Dale Jr., Brian Sudsbury, Greg Haskell, and Ryan Gowdy.
Man, there's a lot going on right now out here, and it's hard to keep up. Charlie Sandercock out in front. He is about to encounter slower traffic, and some of the cars at the back are real slow, Greg. I think they're hesitant with the amount of dust that they're driving into.
There you see Charlie Sandercock working, and now one off on the back stretch going into the pit area. But Charlie Sandercock works it down the front straightaway. 4 laps on the scoreboard. And as you mentioned, catching some lap traffic, there's Jim Dale Jr. and Brian Sudsbury. That's the battle for the 2nd spot as they work it down into corner number 3. Greg Haskell right up behind them.
How many cars did they redraw for this starting lineup? Because Sudsbury was fairly deep in his heat. I believe we're going to go yellow. We got one off the pace on the inside of turn number 2.
That's the RH94 of Jason Haskell. He'll come to a stop down to the inside of corner number 2, and that will give us a bit of a breather here. Tonight in the other 03 was Tim McKenzie. We didn't have a driver name there. You talk about the invert, but it had to be a large amount because Kaylee Weiss, who won her heat, was back a ways as well. It had to be at least the top 8. Top 10 in the redraw.
Well, and this is why I would always argue for an invert instead of a redraw. Because at least if you had all the heat winners up front, like Charlie Sandercock being up where he was, and it looks like Brad Rouse is going to be at the front of the Sportsman race, at least if you do a redraw, all of your heat winners are going to drop back. Not one at the front, another starting deep, but that's neither here nor there.
So it is Charlie Sandercock out in front of Jim Dale Jr. Then it's Brian Sudsbury in 3rd. Andrew Hennessy That's going to be contested, though. Ryan Gowdy thinks he's in fourth. Andrew Hennessy thinks he's in fourth. It is Andrew Hennessy up in fourth. Fifth right now, Greg Haskell. Then Ryan Gowdy ends up in the sixth position. Seventh is Kenny Winfield. Eighth is Kaylee Weiss. Ninth is a 43 of Cody Vandenwinkle. And then 10th is John Pinsino in the 0. 11th right now, Mike Lewis in the 05. Jimmy Jones runs in 12th. 13th is where we find Tim Gillespie in the 15. 14th, Tyler Lazon. 15th, Jason Haskell. 16th, Eugene Hoekstra, who I believe went down a lap because he was the car that went through the infield. The 13 of Kevin Gowdy is back there, as well as the 03 of Tim McKenzie, and those are all the cars still remaining on the track. As I believe it was Matt Sorrell that pulled off in the 53 there during that green flag run.
Yeah, it was the 53 machine.
Guy that I've been impressed with is sitting back there in third. Brian Sudsbury is another one of those drivers that's made the move from asphalt over to dirt, and it's been pretty seamless. He's been very good in the late model division, regular runner down at Brighton Speedway. He was talented before on asphalt. He's carried it over very nicely, and good to see him having a solid outing here on what would be considered a road game for him.
Yeah, it's hard to figure why one driver will have good success when they switch over and another driver will take quite a long time to figure things out. Beautiful race car, too. That number 9 is gorgeous.
So things will get doubled back up here, and we will try it again. 5 laps are on the board, 20 to go. 25-lap feature for the late models and Sportsman tonight. Still to come right after this one. Action Sprint Tour. They'll run 20 laps. Looks like we'll go at least another lap under the caution flag. We want to take this time to thank Club 54, Shadow Auto, Maxima Racing Oils, and RM Racing Lubricants, all proud supporters here at Humberstone Speedway as well.
1 to go. Next time by, Charlie Sandercock will lead the way. Dale in the 00. Sudsbury in the 9. Hennessy in the 87. It's a talented field of drivers, Greg, and well-prepared equipment.
Very talented drivers, and I was just about to say one driver that it's just a treat to watch because he's so smooth as that guy right there starting on the pole. Charlie Sandercock, just to watch the way he controls that car, sails it through the corners. It was fun to watch him race no matter where he is.
You're not kidding. As he inches through 3 and 4, getting ready to get on the throttle. Green flag is back in the air and a clean hole shot for Sandercock.
Comes Jim Dale Jr. on the outside line, but he's going to open the door for Charlie's teammate Andrew Hennessy, who works down to the inside line, and we've got one up against the wall. Looks like Eugene Hoekstra down to the entry of corner number 1 in that 36. So Eugene bring out the second caution in this one.
Can't tell if there's much damage to that race car or not as he sits there either waiting for the tow truck or waiting for the field to go by.
Safety crew will get down there, and looks like our Clinton Jeffrey is down there on the scene as well, as it appears Eugene is going to need a hook off the corner 1 wall. Clint gingerly works through some of that mud down there in the infield. Let's see if we can throw it down to Clint here.
Well, guys, you see Hoekstra, he's got some problems. He ran up this inside wall and skidded along pretty good. I don't think he's got any damage, but we'll see in a second here. He's still hung up on that back wall, and the right rear isn't getting any grip here to drive him off. I don't see any major problems other than body damage, and he should be able to continue.
Curiously, he had the car in reverse there. So I believe they're going to hook it up and pull him out, and whether he is able to finish this one or not has yet to be seen.
looks like. Some movement there now.
How the heck did they do that? The tow truck is 20 feet away now, and it's not connected to the car that had just pulled out of the muck. Oh, and we have a crash leading into the crash.
All right. It's interesting. Oh, John Pinsino in that 0. The left rear quarter panel there, I believe it's rubbing on that tire. If it's not, it's awful close, but he got bunched up there with Kaylee Weiss, Kenny Winfield.
Spencer, do we have a shot of that from the speed cam maybe? What started all that? We'll put Spencer to work having a look for that as the red flag now comes out. Just while they get things sorted out here on the racetrack. And it looks like Kaylee Weiss is going to take that 77 pit side.
Looks like it happened just past the speed cam, so he didn't quite catch what had happened there, but
thankfully whatever happened there didn't work its way into the safety workers that were not far from that position. We're going to have a replay maybe of what happened to Hoekstra going into one. Here's the start with Sandercock getting the advantage on the outside. Watch the far left of your screen. Or just watch the cars go into 1 and 2 on the restart. That's fun too.
Well, Eugene pulled out, but apparently is going to need the hook on the back end of that number 36. So rough night tonight for Eugene, who we're used to seeing in victory lane, if not with a win, a podium finish. And most of the times that we've seen him in a UMP modified, because he really is solid in those UMP modifieds.
Yeah, he's pretty stout for sure. And watch here.
Whoa.
Huh.
So John Pinsino got his damage well after that, because he was the third car in and then got hit from behind. So we will keep an eye on him, because he's the only one that came out. Same right there in the shot. He's on the back stretch. Whether or not that's rubbing, it is, because you can see that panel is vibrating on the tire.
Maybe if he hits the gas hard enough, it'll kink that fender up and get out of his way, Greg.
Well, also you got to think, though, when these cars pitch all the way over to the right, it changes the attitude of these cars so much, more than probably most cars on dirt, these late models. So it may not affect it when he's cornering. It may just be an issue when he's not under full speed or going on the straightaway.
Looks like Winfield has headed pit side. As we look at Gene Hoekstra get a ride back to the pit area, tail end of that race car high up in the air. Listening to race officials discuss that if Kaylee Weiss comes back on the track, I believe what they're discussing is whether she would get her spot back.
So right now it's Charlie Sandercock at the front of the field over Jim Dale Jr., Brian Sudsbury, Andrew Hennessy, and Greg Haskell. That's the top 5, with Ryan Gowdy, Cody Vandewinkle back there, 6th and 7th. 8th, John Pinsino. 9th, Michael Lewis. And 10th is Jimmy Jones in the 34. 11th, Tim Gillespie. 12th, Tyler Lazon. 13th is where we find Tim McKenzie. 14th, Jason Haskell in the RH94. 15th, the 89 of Austin King. And then 13 of Kevin Gowdy. Leading the running order, there's Kenny Winfield now out.
Beautiful evening sky here at Humberstone. Winfield waiting for the field to go by on the inside here under yellow. Don't know if Kaylee Weiss is going to make it back on the racetrack or not. It's not looking good. I believe Kenny Winfield went right back into the pits, Greg. So they're going to go one more and then take the white.
One of the white flag this time by. With 5 complete, still 20 to go.
Keeping one eye on the pit road, the access road coming back to the racetrack. Doesn't look like any cars heading this way. We'll watch to see if perhaps Ken Winfield, Kaylee Weiss, who else is ducked into the pits?
Other than Eugene Hoekstra and Matt Sorrell, I'm not sure who else is vacated here. Everyone else on the roster appears to still be out there.
We got to say, people still doing a good job in the pits, distancing themselves. Nobody really shoulder to shoulder at the fence, room between them, and we're back to green.
Back into the green flag, Charlie Sandercock leads them into one. Jim Dale Jr. opens that bottom side for Brian Sudsbury, and here comes Andrew Hennessy, 3 wide down the backstretch.
Hennessy thinks twice, backs out of that hole, so it's Sudsbury and Dale side by side.
Here comes Sudsbury on the inside again. Dale down a lane lower. Sudsbury had to really pinch the corner there and keeps a good run going as they race down into 3.
Doing a great job of keeping his position there.
Here comes Hennessy to the inside of Jim Dale Jr. Give him the second spot. So the team cars now 1 and 2. Charlie Sandercock out front. Andrew Hennessy in spot number 2. Then it's Jim Dale Jr. and Brian Sudsbury, along with Greg Haskell, your top 5.
Sandercock's opened up quite an advantage as he works down into turn number 3. More than half a straightaway lead over Hennessy in that second spot. And Hennessy really slowing up going into the corner to keep hooked right to the guardrail on the bottom of that racetrack.
16 laps left to go. Charlie Sandercock beginning to catch the back of the field now. Tyler Lozon will be the first car in his sights. As there you see some of the racing going on through the pack. There's Charlie Sandercock with 15 laps left on the board.
You can't tell what the emotions of a race car driver are when he's out on the racetrack. But does Charlie Sandercock not just always seem calm? We watch that car out there, just does his thing, whether he's 3 wide in traffic or all by himself out in front.
And that's Charlie.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't think of a time that I've seen him too animated, too upset, too excited. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've seen him cartwheel off of a car in Victor Lane, so I've seen him excited, but he doesn't get down or upset too often. John Pinsino.
Yeah, he got backwards there in turn number 1, so that'll bring out another yellow. And bunches field together, so we'll see if Hennessy's got anything for Sandercock here. Still lots of racing left to go in this one. They are 11 laps into this 25-lap feature event.
Charlie Sandercock, your leader. Andrew Hennessy riding in position number 2. Jim Dale Jr. back to 3rd. Brian Sudsbury in 4th. 5th is Greg Haskell. 6th is Ryan Gowdy. 7th is where we find Tim Gillespie. 8th, Mike Lewis. 9th, Cody Vandenwinkle. And 10th, Jimmy Jones. And we're back to the green flag now. 11 on the board.
14 laps remaining. So Sandercock getting off the corner better, but Hennessy was really able to drive it into the bottom of turn number 1 the way nobody has so far.
So the team car's having a good night tonight. And for many folks tuning in that maybe follow other tracks or see touring the divisions come into their track, probably know Charlie Sandercock because he tours a lot and wins a lot, and there's a lot of news about him. But Andrew Hennessy primarily runs weekends at Brighton Speedway in their Canadian Modified division, and he's the guy to beat week in and week out, and he's a lot like Charlie, just so smooth and very even-tempered as well.
And he's losing about a car length a lap to Sandercock, and when you're that close in speed, any little opportunity could close the gap, so we'll watch.
Oh, Greg Haskell goes around. Tim Gillespie is involved, as well as Ryan Gowdy. Kevin Gowdy also off track. Be interesting to see, but it looked like Greg Haskell just went around up into the entry of corner 2, and that car collects Ryan Gowdy, who's having a solid run as well. There's some good cars caught up in that one.
Doesn't look like anyone took real bad damage in that, Greg, but yeah, they're going to lose a lot of track position, having to go into the pits or just having to get restarted and drop to the back. You gotta wonder, all of these Action Sprint Tour teams that have come down here and practiced at Humberstone Speedway over the last couple of weeks, what are they doing back in the pits? Because I can almost promise you when they came to practice, the track did not look like this.
Yeah, it's going to be time to make some decisions on what's going to happen going forward. Here tonight, things changing from practices to heats to where we're at right now, and I'm sure there's some over there that think they've got it figured out. They're good. And there's some that are the worst. I'd be the second guesser. That would be me.
Exactly.
Outthink yourself.
Yep. Yep.
Well, looks like Tim Gillespie's going to need the hook from behind, so he obviously got tangled up in that worse than originally thought. Ryan Gowdy has made his way back out. So to reset things for you, Charlie Sandercock, the leader over Andrew Hennessy. Then it's Jim Dale Jr. third. That has not changed. Brian Sudsbury in fourth. That has not changed either. It was from fifth on back that all this broke out. Right now in fifth is where we find Cody Vandenwinkle in the 43. And a shout out to him. First time running in the late models, moving up from the Thunderstock division. He's had a solid outing here tonight through the heats in this feature so far. He's riding in the 5th spot. 6th now is where we find the RH94 of Jason Haskell. So a good comeback for him in 6th. 7th, Mike Lewis in the 05. 8th is the 89 of Austin King. 9th is John Pinsino in the 0. And 10th is the 03 of Tim McKenzie. 11th, Jimmy Jones in the 34. 12th is the 13 of Kevin Gowdy. And right behind him is where we'll find Ryan Gowdy in the 00. So those are the cars remaining on track at the moment. We'll keep an eye to see if anyone else will make their return onto the track. Tim Gillespie getting the hook. I think we're coming to the
green.
Green, we are.
14 laps in, 11 laps remaining. Sandercock out in front over Hennessy. Single file restart, so Sandercock will set the pace.
Sandercock, Hennessy, 1 and 2. Dale and Brian Sudsbury go at it for the 3rd position. Jason Haskell now finds himself inside the top 5.
Tyler Lozon in the 66 came on just as they were taking the green, so he's quite a ways behind the pack, but he's still out there. And off of turn number 2, Sandercock leads the way, gets that little bit of a pull. He doesn't pull away by much, but a little bit, and Hennessy really charged the corner that time.
9 laps left to go here in the Pro Fabrication late model feature event. Still to come, Action Sprint Tour and Dirt Sportsman. 20 and 25 laps for them. Some great racing action back there. There you see Van Winkle and Greg Haskell. Make that Jason Haskell. Now Tyler Lazan will go around a corner 1 and put us under the caution flag.
That was a fantastic battle from third back to 8th. Third, fourth, third back to 8th. They were all duking it out 2 wide.
Just down to 8 laps left to go in this one. Jason Haskell has worked his way through the field up into the top 5. He's smartly gotten away from some of the problems that have been in front of him, but he's also putting some pressure on Brian Sudbury. So it's as though maybe that position that he got into the top 5, he won't get to keep as they go back to the previously completed lap. Looks like he'll go back a spot into 6th. Austin King up there trying to fit in, whether he's in the 7th or 8th spot right now alongside John Pincinel.
He's been pit side in this one and back out again. Lights are going to go out on the pace car. We're going to go white flag this. No, we're going this time. This time out of 4, we're going to set them loose. We'll see if Sandercock can continue to build that lead that he's done each and every time. There's 8 laps remaining.
Down the hill he goes to the green flag. Charlie Sandercock leads him down the front stretch into corner 1 with teammate in tow. Andrew Hennessy was there for a moment, and now the lead stretches.
Hennessy's driving deeper. If he can get there and get Charlie's attention, maybe he can make something happen.
Good battle for position number 3 behind leaders Sandercock and Hennessy. It's Jim Dale Jr., Brian Sudbury, John Pincinel, Cody Vandenwinkle back there as well. All having it out here. Good 3-wide battle down the front stretch with 6 to go.
Wow, Sudbury trying to get his nose to the inside. What a comeback for Pincinel. Pincinel might have something. If they can get a yellow, he'd definitely be able to see if he can mount a challenge. Even without a yellow, he is flying out there.
Yeah, closing the gap rapidly is John Pincinel in the 0. He's found something, and he is hooked up, pulling away from that pack that he was racing just a lap ago.
1 off of turn number 2 off the pace. I believe they're going to be able to make it. That's Lewis, one of our heat race winners earlier tonight, if I'm not mistaken. First or second in his heat.
Michael Lewis pulls it off in the 0-5, so the top 3 evenly separated now as Pincinel closes the gap, but here's that battle behind them.
Still 3 wide for position, now down to 2 wide. Sudbury digging around the bottom of the racetrack. Dale in the middle. Up high, it's King. Like we said, King had been into the pits during this race. It'll be 2 laps to go this time at the stripe. Charlie Sandercock leading the way, and Pincinel thinking, how is there not a yellow?
He's charging hard, but not going to have enough time, I don't think. But there is lap traffic right in front of the leaders.
Yeah, the rate he's closing is phenomenal, especially as they close in on this slower traffic.
And this is the thing for Charlie. He hasn't really felt any pressure through this race, so he thinks maybe, how hard do I need to push this thing? He doesn't know how fast John Pincinel is coming, but final time through 3 and 4 is all he needs to do.
Hail Mary from Pincinel or from Hennessy. He is going to run out of time. Sandercock with the win. Hennessy second, Pincinel third. Greg, why can't we get a yellow when we want one? We got 17 of them when we didn't need them.
Wow. What a run by John Pincinel to come back from that and make it interesting in the closing laps, but nonetheless, Charlie Sandercock will pick up the win over his teammate Andrew Hennessy. John Pincinel will cross the line in the 3rd spot. 4th I do not have the official running order in front of me. In fourth, I believe, is either Austin King or Jim Dale Jr. And then we've got Brian Sudsbury, Cody Vandenwinkle, Jason Haskell, Ryan Gowdy, and Tyler Lazon. I believe those will be the top 10 cars as they all head over to the pit area. Top 3 will go across the scales in just a moment. We'll get a word down at Victory Lane. Clinton Jeffrey will hook up with the top 3 and hear from them after the Pro Fabrication late model feature event now in the books. Still 2 more races to come. Action Sprint Tour are up next, 20 laps for them. And then we'll go 25 laps for the Costco Haulage Sportsman Division.
Are you having fun, Greg? Have I been hard on you yet tonight?
Not tonight. It's been mild, really.
Because the Action Sprint Tour is up next. Drivers are up next, but the Sprint Tour is a singular thing. Even you could say the Action Sprint group, even though there's multiple people in the group, you still treat it as a singular. So when we pass it on to the next, is up next. English is a tough language for people to learn who don't speak it naturally. Have you heard that?
I don't even know what you just said, to be honest. I have no clue.
You said the Action Sprint Tour are up next. And I wanted to make sure you were in a good mood before I start poking and digging.
Well, there's Charlie Sandercock down trackside getting the helmet off, and we'll send it down to Clinton Jeffrey down in Victory Lane.
Thanks, Greg. As we look at Sandercock getting out of the machine here, great run for him. You know, no surprise to see Charlie here. This 57 car, as you mentioned, Greg, throughout the feature, runs great wherever he takes it. Charlie, a top pilot here. Come on around, talk to us, Charlie. He will get his G-Force mask on, and we'll get to talk to him here. Hey, if you want, Charlie, whatever you got to do, buddy. Congrats, though. You know, we talked about you racing a lot all over the province. We'll give you a second to get it on. Get it right there. That's okay. Yeah. There you go, Charlie. And a new Humberstone hat for you, too. Charlie, what a great drive. You got to be real happy with the way it went. You know, the track kind of looked like it gave fits. I know Dave was worried about what to do. It is black and hard here, but still kicking up dust. A tough decision to make, but you guys survived that one. Being up front helped. Talk about the drive, Charlie.
It was definitely a tricky track. We weren't sure what we were going to do, but we made a couple tire choices there tonight. We just kind of stuck with it. We decided on the way up out of this, I think, what we're going to run with tonight, and we were going to make a change, and we just went with it. The track seemed to have quite a bit of moisture in it here and there. Yeah, it was dusty. I'm not sure. I started out front. I'm not sure exactly the guys are running behind me. It kind of sucks sometimes when you start out front. You don't know where to go, what the lines are, and can sneak up on you. So it seemed to work out good for us tonight here. We pulled off a 1-2 finish for me and Andrew. So good job to all the boys that helped us out all winter to get everything back together.
Yeah, we'll see you obviously on the 25th down at your home track of Brighton when we get back there with G-Force in a couple weeks. You excited to get back on home turf and pick up another win on TV?
Yeah, definitely. We're definitely looking forward to going down to Brighton Speedway. So come check us out on GForceTV.
There you go. Charlie Sandercock gets it done. We'll get over here and talk to Andrew Hennessy, his teammate here, another one of the Brighton regulars. Andrew, a great drive for you. You know, when you guys can drive all this way and pick up a 1-2 finish, you got to be real pleased, especially when the track was kind of tough like it was. A lot of dust, but it's still hard packed. Kind of throwing fits at you guys this evening.
Yeah, I think that's we're pretty happy with that. That's what we came here to do. You know, this first time I've got to race all year. The track was pretty slick. I like that. That kind of comes into my type of track. I think we're going to have a good ride home.
I think so too. 1-2. Congrats, Andrew.
Thanks a lot.
Andrew Hennessy, another one of the Brighton regulars. We'll get over here and talk to John Pinsnow. John, you know, 2 Brighton regulars in front of you. You're from the other end down by Southern Ontario Motor Speedway and a regular there. You know, how cool is it to end up on the podium here on TV and during the live stream when everybody can watch for free on a tricky track night?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy to finish up front with all these guys. It was a tricky track. It was dusty. But you know what? It's smooth, and once we got a little bit of room between us and the other guys, we were pretty good, and we could find our way around.
Great job, congrats.
Thanks. I appreciate everything you guys do to make this happen.
No No problem. We're glad to be here, John. John Pinson will finish third. Second will be Andrew Hennessy. And your winner tonight, the number 57, Charlie Sandercock, guys. He gets it done. 1-2 for the Brighton fans watching here on GForce. Guys.
Great job as always, Clint down there. And Andrew Hennessy, for those that don't know Andrew, we talked about how he probably doesn't get as much of the glory because he's more of a regular Saturday night racer more than a touring driver. But he's probably one of the most intelligent people in the sport as well. If you're a friend with him on Facebook and you get into racing conversations, man, he just has a whole lot of common sense, and he can see things that other people his age maybe don't necessarily see. He's wise beyond his years.
Yeah, perspective is everything, and it is... you need those people on Facebook because there has to be someone you can enjoy scrolling. And so I want to see what they're saying today because with all the nonsense that's out there. But you make a good point.
Well, the Action Sprint Tour is up next. 20 laps the distance. And before we set the starting lineup, let's send it trackside. Clinton Jeffrey.
Well, guys, if you look over here to where I am, Dave, if you pan over this way, you can see you've got all kinds of black hardness down here on the bottom. But what Dave Bittner's doing here with this front end loader, he's working to pick up all of this dust and the powder that's accumulating against the wall. And what it's going to do is, you can see all the way down this front line, he's picked up, and then you can see where he's scooping up all that dry dust that is smashing against the wall there, and that's going to hopefully keep the dust down. The rest of the track is very black and hard packed, but this is the one situation they're trying to attend to, guys, with regards to the Speedway. Dave, one thing I want you to look at on me, look at how this black, it is so hard, it is packed almost like asphalt. So there's only a few spots out here giving us grief, and it's a lot of this soft powder up against the wall that's kicking those clouds of dust up, guys. Check it out. We're going to keep working on it down here trackside.
Thank you very much, Clint, and a good up-close look at what the track crew goes through. You would think they open up the gates, everyone checks in, the track officials in the tower take over, and that is it. But no, those that work on the track throughout the week, throughout the day, they're watching each race and maybe not so much watching the competition. They're watching what's happening to the track. What do we need to do before the next feature to get out there and improve things a little bit or keep some of that dust down? And for Dave Bittner, we mentioned it before, he's going to sleep well tonight.
Whether it's fans in the grandstands or whether you know you've got thousands of people watching online, you realize they're fans and they matter. You want to give them the best show that you can. You want to give the best to the drivers that you can, because really, just like we talked about earlier, we're showing people Humberstone Speedway, some of whom may have never seen Humberstone Speedway. It's also being showcased to these race teams who want to come and race. And what Dave would love is for them to say, man, I can't wait till I get to go back to Humberstone Speedway.
Very true, and he continues to work away at that. We are getting close to kicking things off for the Schweikens Speedway Race Source Action Sprint Tour feature event. 20 laps. That will be followed by Dirt Car Sportsman running 25 laps in their feature event tonight. Starting lineup looks like this for the Action Sprint Tour. Going from the pole, it's the birthday boy from Beamsville. From the J&E Racing Stables, two-car team there. Driving the part source, J&E Recovery, Julie Swayze Remax, 88H, that'll be Josh Hansen. Going alongside him from the second spot, hometown driver from right here in Port Colborne, Jennifer Hatch Coldwell Banker, A to Z Expediting Weldstar, 5D, Jacob Dykstra. Starting in third from Woodstock, the Racing for Mental Wellness, Canadian Custom Excavation, Henderson Powder Coating, 29W, Tyler Ward. Starting in fourth from Freelton, the DJD Graphics 3M Dryden Racing 12 Double D, Darren Dryden. And from the fifth position from Six Nations, the Styes Tree Service Enriam Oshweekend Speedway, number 20, the Iceman, Johnny Miller. Starting in sixth from Milton, the Radio Shuttle, Neely Auto Service, Wares Napa 74, Rob Neely. And starting from the seventh position from Hamilton, the Burger Barn, Petro Plus, Aiken Motors 56, Derek Lemaire. Starting in eighth out of Brantford, the JDL Distributing, National Building Group, Gales Auto Aftermarket 49L of Lucas Smith. And going from ninth from Smithville, the Schneider Electric, J&E Recovery, JNS Heating and Air Conditioning 1A of Paul Klager. Going from 10th from Binbrook in the Chasten Float Service, Heinz Masonry, Mac Tools 29, Liam Martin. Going off 11th from Font Hill, the Glow and Go Tanning, Glenholm Motors, Seminuk Esso 08 of Stephen Beckett. And alongside him in 12th from Waterloo, the Velocity Mechanical ILA Sports Inline Electric 19D of Alan Downey. Starting in 13th out of St. Catharines, the 7-Star Express Line, Shane Renovations, Baker Performance 26X, Mike Bowman. And outside of him, starting 14th in car number 14 from Hagersville, Tim's Tire, Enrium, Glen Stires Racing 14 of Noel Teal. Going from 15th out of Brampton, in the Lifto Limited, Toyota Industry Equipment, East Penn Deca Battery, 70mm Dave McKnight. And to the outside, starting 16th. Got an issue there with that starting lineup. Going from the 16th spot, that is where we'll find Tyler Ward. So a mix-up there, and it'll be Tyler Winger in the 4W rather, up in the 3rd starting spot for this one. So it'll be Tyler Ward back in the 16th position. Starting 17th out of Kitchener, Ontario, the Larka Custom Machining, Can-Am Steel Products, RCM Racing Equipment 50 LS of Adrian Staley. And from the 18th spot from Brantford, the Burger Barn Petrol Plus Aiken Motors 58 of Lance Erskine. Starting in position number 19 from Mount Hope, the Weldstar Custom Fab car number 2 of Lee Winger. And starting in 20th from Mountain Bridges, the Ackland Insurance Pride Seats, Vibrant Farms 45, Nick Sheridan. Going from 21st from Stouffville, the Transport Sales and Service, Instapanels, Hunsinger Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical R52, the Gunslinger, Ryan Hunsinger, and his outside from the 22nd spot from Wayne Fleet, the Sundance Pressure Washing, Castle Plumbing, Overhead Doors, BS39, Brett Stratford. Starting in 23rd position from Thorold, the Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center, Surge Auto Glass, Concept 1 Fabrication, number 19, Charlie Lynch. And rolling off 24th from Beachville, the Castrol Edge Wilds Printing, Advantage Powder Coating 5 of DJ Christie. Going from 25th position from Jerseyville, the Paris Factory Rides, Kevin Kuntz, Matco Tools, Brian Martin Real Estate 49C, Cody Smith. 26, Daryl Pelche from Port Perry in the Brass Ink, White Feather Farms, Comer Heating and Air Conditioning 77. Going 27th from Moshweek in the Canada Fuels Hills Racing, Ackland Insurance 9C, Brian Nanakoke. And starting in the 28th and final position from Ancaster, the Hallett Home Improvements, Young's Pumps 51 of Trevor Young. 28 cars, 20 laps the distance for the Ohsweken Speedway Race Source Action Sprint Tour.
Got them all out. Nicely done. This should be a fun one, Greg.
Yes, it should. Second race in 2 weeks for the Action Sprint Tour. Kicked off their year down at Merrittville Speedway in what was a good race down there. And we're bound to see that again. They always put on a good show here at Humberstone.
That was a good race. Now look at the wing angle. So what you can do in a sprint car, when the track gets slick, you can stand that wing up just as straight as you can. Gives you more downforce on the back tires to get more grip. You lose a little bit of aerodynamics with them. Looking up and down the field, I think drivers that might be more confident with the setup of their race cars will run a little bit flatter wing. Rob Neely has a little bit flatter wing. DJ Christie, Dave McKnight, Brett Stratford, Ryan Hunsinger. But you look at some of them, Lance Erskine, he's got that wing pitched pretty high. We'll watch for the front runners as the lineup is taking shape here. Pace car coming out at turn number 4. Josh Hansen has quite a lot more pitch to his wing than Jacob Dykstra does, and you can see it from this angle. You can see more of the Part Source logo on the front. You can see some of these wings are standing right up, get all the traction they can get. Some of them are laid a little bit flatter. I don't know if my observations are even remotely interesting, but you know, you've been talking about these things for so very long, you try to find something that a fan might latch on to or see that.
Well, we take for granted the things we know and understand and see on a regular basis, or hear from drivers, and oftentimes we forget to pass that information along, or we forget what it's like to be a fan, and we lose sight of that. And I found that very insightful, Adam.
Thanks, Greg.
Not as insightful as the Is Our discussion, but...
Oh, that was good. I had a request for more definitions earlier tonight, thinking back to last year's cockeyed debacle.
Oh. If there was ever a safe word needed, that was that night.
It was completely within reason.
Well, it started there, I think.
People with filthy minds and agendas.
It spiraled.
It was a learning opportunity, though, wasn't it?
It was. I got to be careful the words I use. The best part was it frazzled Clint. So.
Oh, Clint was mad until he found out the boss found it funny. Then it was okay.
Well, the field's going to take shape, and we can't have fans in the grandstands, but we've got tons of you at home watching live, and we are thankful to have you here. Folks, this is our salute to you. They are 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. This is the Ohsweken Speedway Racehorse Action Sprint Tour, a main event.
That's a pretty neat look. Nice job by Greg Boydell. We tried a couple of spots down there in turn number 1 for him, but I think we found a good one, Greg. We've had some nice looks. We're riding on board with Sheridan, the 45 Vibrant Farms car.
White flag being displayed on the field next time will be at full song. Race 2 of the season for the Action Sprint Tour. Thank you for tuning in. It is not the same without you here in the stands, folks. I'll tell you that. The atmosphere is, I can't even explain it. It's eerie. But we are glad that we're being able to bring this here to you. Action Sprint Tour, 20 laps. Josh Hansen, Jacob Dykstra bringing us to the green flag.
Yellow is out. I believe Doug Leonard did not like that start. And what I actually watched, Greg, I normally always watch the field come by and then I sort of fixate on 1 and 2 to make sure everyone gets through. This time I fixated on the start-finish line because I wanted to see what we could see. In fact, Spencer, if you don't mind, if the camera is up and running, can you give us the green flag out of the onboard camera? Leave this view. This is the look from Nick Sheridan, who's lined up about 16th, if my math is right. They're coming to green out of... The flagman's pointing to something down in turn number 1, so we're going to go 1 to go. Maybe a piece of debris down there the flagman is trying to point out to the safety crew. But I just want to see them go down into turn number 1. After they get through turn number 1, you can go back to whatever camera angle you want to go to. But I just think it'd be fascinating to see what Nick Sheridan sees from the driver's seat. And a lot of it, Greg, you have to have the confidence. You have to keep going, because if you slow down, you're going to get run over. But at the same time, you're not going with full aggression like you might normally be.
Think racing is easy? Wait till you see this. You're right. It's you've got to have the confidence to go hard at this and attack it, regardless of what you can or cannot see in front of you, and that's tough to do.
And I've been to Fulton Speedway to watch the Victoria 200. 100 cars try to qualify, and lap 1, there's so much dust none of these people can see. So if we've got the view of Sheridan, it'd be awesome. If not, Okay, let's ride along. Perfectly clear right now. They get on the loud pedal. Okay, and that wasn't as bad as I think it's been earlier. You can still make your way. You can see where Sheridan wanted to go, but there's moments where things get a little bit blind. Great start. Spencer Mullen, awesome job for the producer's chair.
Oh, I saw that one brewing. Dave McKnight got hit by Adrian Staley, and he keeps a foot in the throttle. Looks like we're going to stay green.
We are still under green. Out in front, it's Darren Dryden over Josh Hansen in second, Jacob Dykstra third. How about Tyler Winger in the fourth spot in that number 4? Oh, problems for Johnny Miller down in 1 and 2. He loses a spot or two. Rob Neely goes by.
Well, we've got a slow car on the backstretch now. Having a hard time seeing who that is. Oh, it's Alan Downey in the 19D. That will bring up the caution flag. There was a whole lot more than just that could have brought out the caution flag there in the last 45 seconds.
There's a lot of things happening.
Adrian Staley went hard down into corner number 3 a couple of laps before that and just barely caught Dave McKnight and spun him around. He was able to rejoin the field without bringing out the caution, and now Alan Downey comes to a stop in the backstretch. And the push trucks are having an issue just trying to find a spot to slip up in between this constant line of cars all the way around the track.
It really is an art running a sprint car race and coordinating a sprint car race and safety vehicles and the way things work at Ohsweken Speedway, where we're on a Friday night and we run 2 sprint car divisions, so everything's kind of a well-oiled machine. Things are different here at Humberstone, but they're going to get up there and give Alan Downey some help. Hopefully the car just jumped out of gear on him and he just needs a push.
Darren Dryden leads the way over Josh Hansen. Jacob Dykstra is third. Fourth, and you touched on this, Tyler Winger. Man, I have not seen him in a sprint car before. I don't know if he has been in one before, but I remember watching him in the Mod Light division and good in that. But here he is riding in position number 4. And Rob Neely right now in 5th. Let's throw it over to Clinton Jeffrey.
Hey guys, just want to mention that with the Alan Downey car, he got into it with Nick Sheridan. Sheridan drove over the the left rear of Alan Downey, and I think that caused problems. Downey was able to drive it down halfway down the back straightaway, but it looked like he might have had a bent rim or something like that, and that's why he needs a tow. It was certainly something wrong with the rolling gear in the car. That was the problem for Alan Downey, guys.
And let's remember Alan Downey coming off a career best second place finish at Merrittville Speedway, where he came on real strong at the end of that one.
Another situation of a few more laps and he might have had something for Alan Downey. It's not the same night tonight for him. It looks like he will get the assistants into the pit area.
I've had a question from a viewer, why don't we have the top 10 streaming across the screen? It's a very simple answer. We don't have electronic timing and scoring here at Humberstone Speedway that we can connect to our broadcast. So it's impossible to have that top 10 showing across the screen.
See if we can set the running order for you right now. Darren Dryden the leader, Josh Hansen in second, then it's Jacob Dykstra in 5D third. 4W of Tyler Winger sits in 4th. 5th is Rob Neely in the 74. 6th is Lucas Smith in the 49L. 7th is Johnny Miller in the 20. 8th is the 1A of Paul Clagger. 9th is where we find Derek Lemaire in the 56. And 10th is Liam Martin in the 29. 11th, Stephen Beckett in the 08. 12th is where we find Mike Bowman in the 26X. 13th now is Tyler Ward. 14th looks to be Brett Stratford. 15th is Noel Teal, and we're going to send it now trackside to Clinton Jeffrey.
Well, guys, all kinds of stuff going on here. They've taken the Alan Downey car back to his pit stall, and as I see it, still up on the back of the tow truck, and he's going to get his 2 minutes in the work area. Now, Alan Downey would be one of the guys who realizes maybe if his night's done, he'll pack it in. But the fact that he's still buckled in the car, guys, makes me think it's something that they can fix quickly. We'll try and get you another report here in a moment.
Well, we also have to remember Alan Downing hasn't been racing very long, so he probably doesn't have a good feel for what may be terminal and what may not be, Greg. So keep yourself strapped in. You're always better off that way. And if they can get you back going, it's a heck of a lot easier when you haven't undone your safety equipment.
I'll continue on here with the rundown for those that are watching, maybe wondering where their favorite is. 16th now is Adrian Staley. 17th is where Nick Sheridan is. 18th is Ryan Hunsinger. 19th, DJ Christie. 20th, Lance Erskine. 21st is Trevor Young. 22nd, Charlie Lynch. 23rd is Brian Danicoke. 24th, Daryl Pelche. 25th, Dave McKnight. 26th is Cody Smith. 27th, Lee Winger and Alan Downey. Right now would be 28th, the open car off the front.
And to answer more questions online, how could a sprint car jump out of gear? Are they not direct drive? They're direct drive, but they have an in and out box. You're in gear or you're out of gear, and quite often if you hit something, if the car bounces, they will jump out of gear. You'll see it quite often in a super modified race, a sprint car race. They'll just kind of roll to a stop. They got to lock it back in gear and get pushed off again. I like the questions, Greg. It keeps me from having to talk to you.
I like it too. Unless you pick on me and give me grammar lessons. All the other wonderful things.
Well, you know, we have high standards around here.
We do?
Good point.
I haven't seen any. Well, not from us.
So we're getting messages that this is Tyler Winger's first time in a sprint car, but don't tell him that, and don't tell the 20 drivers that are behind him, because he's doing pretty darn good. Next time, we'll go back to green flag racing. The white flag has been displayed. Tow truck's heading back to the infield. Mark Bazine making his way home with his Burger Barn hauler. It's a race within a race. Under yellow, you're allowed to exit the pits through there. They frown on it when the race is on.
Single file pass, a restart cone. We've got 3 laps complete, 17 to go for the Action Sprint Tour. Darren Dryden brings them down the banking to the green flag. And Paul Klager, I think, might get dinged there 2 positions because he hit the restart cone.
He didn't knock it very far if he did. Darren Dryden still out in front over Jacob Dykstra. Good. Oh, trouble in turn 4. We got one around backwards. One has made contact with him.
Daryl Pelche, the car around. And was it Alan Downey that made contact?
I'm not.
He came out of the pile. I don't know if that was him, though. So there's Daryl Pelche, driver at Port Perry, in his first season in crate sprint cars. So the restart cone being placed back out on the front stretch. And I've not seen anyone penalized for that, I don't believe.
Could be you were the only one that noticed. Peltier getting pushed off in turn number 4 backwards. I don't know if they'll start the car like that or if they'll roll it in the right direction before they fire it up.
All right, so they did get Klager on that, and he will go back 2 spots.
But I do know that's not where you want to stop the push truck.
No. So the rule on that with the restart cone, if you hit the cone, if you go below the cone or pass before the cone, you are docked 2 positions. Now that comes either at the first caution or at the end of the race. So in a situation like this for Paul Klager, you're better off to have that happen now than the caution comes out, you drop back the 2 spots, and you don't find out at the end of the night, hey, I worked myself up to 3rd, but really I'm only 5th.
Yeah, for sure. I'm reading comments and questions again. I don't know if the crates are allowed to run adjustable wings from inside the car. I think they can, though.
I believe they can. We've seen them adjusting.
Have we? I haven't. Did you see that?
Not tonight, but in previous. I thought they were. Maybe not.
I think they are. No, I think we're right. 2 out of 2. Clinton Jeffrey down there with the report for us.
Yeah, guys, just want to jump in on that situation. Yes, these cars have the exact same wing structure that a 360 or a 410 would. They can move them forward and backward to get more bite on the back tires. They can move them back or slide them forward. Most of the guys have to wait under caution for the wind to let them slide back down with gravity. The more advanced systems now will let you go forward and backward, but the cheaper systems only let you move it back when you need to. And you're right, Adam, they set the pitch based on cotter pins at the start of the race, but the where it is in relation to frontwards or backwards in the chassis, they can change that.
There you go. Learning as we go, learning on the fly. We're back to green there, and Dryden continues to lead.
Single file past the restart cone, and Dryden's been getting some good restarts here as he gets a good gap on Dykstra, but now Dykstra will close that up down in 3 and 4.
Got a clean lap there on that restart. Surveying the track to make sure we've still got the same number of cars out there that we did before. And look at how quick they're going to be into lap traffic. Darren Dryden within the same straightaway of the last place car. We've got one around Cody Smith around in turn number 2.
Lee Winger takes evasive action. He'll get back on the track, I believe, or is he pulling? No, he pulls right into the pit area.
Yeah, he headed to the pits there.
Back into the caution again. Cody Smith, 49C, his second race in a crate sprint car. Crew chief for Lucas Smith in years gone by, but not related.
As always, we got to give a shout out to some of the people watching. Tony Spiteri and the clan watching from home. They're almost close enough to hear the cars from here. I thought we might have a Tony Spiteri sighting here tonight. We'll settle for them watching online at home.
And there it is, just the spin by Cody Smith up in corner 2. No harm, no foul. Look at that sky.
That's something else. Sailors will be delighted. Do you know why, Greg?
Pink sky at night, sailors delight. Pink sky at morning. Sailors take warning.
Why is that, I wonder?
Eric O'Connor, who watches most of our broadcasts, asked me to take a big whiff of the racing fuel tonight. Unfortunately, unlike Merrittville 2 weeks ago or Flamborough where we're out on the veranda, we're in central air tonight, so there's no racing smells for us other than just you.
Yeah, you are the racing smells tonight. It's not that luxurious. We can't complain about the digs here at Humberstone Speedway. Dave Bittner and the team have done an awesome job. The place looks great.
Six laps complete, 14 to go. Dirt Sportsman still to come. Lights are out. Coming back to the green flag this time by.
Darren Dryden has done a really good job with his restarts. Now Jacob Dykstra, while very, very young behind him, He is a talented race car driver, so Darren Dryden's going to have to change up his restarts a little bit, not do the same thing every time, because Dykstra will capitalize.
Yeah, for Darren Dryden, he's got two drivers that, yeah, even though they're young, they've got a lot of wins already in this division.
They do so, and he gets another nice start out there, but Dykstra right with him. Josh Hansen trying to keep pace. Tyler Winger right there as well. And from all the reports we've got, this is Tyler Winger's first venture in a sprint car, doing a great job out there in the 4 machine. Hanging on to the 4th position, but right behind him, Rob Neely in the 49, Lucas Smith in the, Neely in the 74, Lucas Smith in the 49.
Top 4 broken away, and then it's a good battle for that 5th position. Riding on board right now with Nick Sheridan as he works it around the track. You get an idea of how much he can really see in the distance.
There's a lot of obstacles in a sprint car when you're sitting in the driver's seat, and trouble down in turn 4. Cody Smith puts it around, able to keep it going. He'll get rolling again, not far in front of the race leader, so Darren Dryden is going to have to make some choices here in the closing laps. The top 3 are right together. Jacob Dykstra with a big run down the back straightaway.
Across the stripe, cross flags are out. 10 in, 10 to go. Darren Dryden leads. Trying to win his first crate sprint car feature event. That DJD graphics car number 12, DD. Great battle going on behind him right now.
And Dryden, with less experience, got a better run through that lap traffic than did Jacob Dykstra and Josh Hansen. It cost Hansen a bunch of track position. Dykstra's close enough to still be up there in the battle.
Lap traffic right in front of the leaders. Daryl Pelche will be the first car, and here comes Dryden right up on the back of the 77. It opens the door for the 5D of Jacob Dykstra. He'll take the lead going down the backstretch, pinches it down to the inside of Pelche and gets by him.
That was not much hesitation. It's all it took to cost Dryden the lead. Jacob Dykstra out in front. Let's see if Dryden can recover with 7 laps to go.
Wow, Dryden's been caught an entire lap behind that 77 of Pelche. Now he'll pick up the horses and work it down the backstretch. He'll have to work around the lap car of Brian Nanakoke as the leader. Jacob Dykstra now beginning to slice through cars.
He gets around Nanakoke. Josh Hansen going to get around as well, but it is still tough sledding for Jacob Dykstra. He has heavy traffic in front of him. Dave McKnight and Trevor Young.
Here comes Dykstra down to the inside of the 51, working it down this time. That'll be 5 laps left to go for Jacob Dykstra, and tell you what, Darren Dryden not going away. He's closing the gap just a little bit and bringing Josh Hansen along with him.
He is definitely not going to go away. It looks like he's lost a little bit of his drive off the corners, but the big thing is going to be lane choice and how they get through this slower traffic, as there's 4 laps to go.
He works it around the outside. Here comes Hansen to the outside of Darren Dryden. Now he'll take the second spot over. Now he's tucked in behind Trevor Young, though. Leader Jacob Dykstra goes low on Dave McKnight and continues to lap cars.
Oh, Josh Hansen comes back on the track as Dave McKnight comes back on the track as Josh Hansen trying to make a move on that slower traffic. That really cost them, but what a battle for second.
Wow. 2 second and third place caught behind 2 lap cars, and they cannot see Jacob Dykstra now as he's got a gap on them. Closing in now, this will be 2 laps left to go as Dykstra gets by Cody Smith.
Man, oh man, Josh Hansen and Darren Dryden trying to work through Trevor Young and Dave McKnight. What an epic battle that is up ahead. Jacob Dykstra, he is in heavy traffic as well, goes to the inside 3 wide and takes the white flag.
1 lap left to go. Here comes Josh Hansen. He's got 2 lap cars between he and the leader. Jacob Dykstra, hometown hero, wishes he could celebrate with his hometown fans. Well, he'll get to do it here tonight on TV.
Fantastic battle for the 3rd spot as they come around 3 and 4. Dykstra for the win. 2nd place to Hansen. 3rd place, I don't know who took 3rd. I believe Lucas Smith took 3rd, but it was close between he and Darren Dryden. Boy, oh boy, a couple of early yellows slowed the action, but Greg, 2 Action Sprint Tour races in a row, Merrittville Speedway and now here at Humberstone, and we have yet to put a car on its side, let alone have a flip.
Fantastic feature race there, and what won that feature here tonight is lap traffic management. Jacob Dykstra, and I'm not saying Darren Dryden didn't do a great job here tonight, but Jacob Dykstra really took it that next level, and he made a couple of moves that, like you said while you were calling it, no hesitation.
And you know what? And that's the key. He's been at it for a while, and it was clear that car got better and better as the race went on. Darren Dryden, I really enjoyed watching the drive that he had, but it was clear he was losing a little bit. And Darren Dryden is going to be a top racer in this division. He's getting there, but he's now getting to the point where a lot of others have not gotten to, and some of those before him have surpassed, where they just know where they're going to need to be late in the race. Because you remember years ago, as Jacob Dykstra doing some donuts out of turn number 4, we knew the hot shoes, the Mac Demands, the Sean Evans. There was a list of drivers that were really good in the crates. We don't have that now. They're all pretty good, but they're starting to position themselves as elite.
And there's one of them right there, Jacob Dykstra. He'll get the push over here to victory lane. Man, he would love to have the fans here tonight because it would be going nuts here at his home track. And they always do something cool here at Humberstone Speedway for the Action Tour Sprint events. They bring the drivers from underneath the tower here through a lineup of fans, kind of Hollywood style, and out onto the track for the starting lineup. And he was always one of the fan favorites for that. And Jacob gets to celebrate nonetheless tonight on our broadcast. Big win. Josh Hansen, the birthday boy, comes home in second. And Lucas Smith officially takes the third spot. Congratulations to him. Man, I'd like to hear from Darren Dryden, though. You know, that's one of those nights where you'd like to hear from the fourth place guy, but not going to get a chance tonight. There's Jacob getting unbuckled down in victory lane. We'll send it down to Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks, guys. Jacob Dykstra down here picks up both feature wins as part of the Operation Green Flag system here, and he gets out. Father Dave over here with a quick round of applause. We'll get you one, Jacob. Come on around and talk to us. He's going to get the flag. Just hang on, we'll get him back here. He wants to get up on the roof, guys, so we'll let him do his wing dance here.
He earned it, that's for sure. Getting all the gear on, the Humberstone hat. Now we'll slide down the wing and rejoin Clinton Jeffrey.
Hey, talk about your race. You know, you got a little bit early on the jump there. You got put back a row on the first, and that could have been a big problem for you. But in the end, it worked out. You know, you got put back a row, but you still managed to get the feature win here. Obviously, your hometown track, but this is the place where it all started for you, right? Practicing this car when you were a young teenager. Talk about what it means to pick up both wins as part of Operation Green Flag this season.
Man, this is crazy. I can't thank my guys enough. They've been busting, doing a great job, and I definitely wouldn't be here without them. And I had some luck. Adam Ferry, one of my best friends, Petey, and my grandma and my brother. If it wasn't for that, they gave me some luck, that's for sure.
Jake, congratulations, man. We're not sure how much more racing we're going to get to do, but you've been perfect so far. You got to be happy with that.
Oh, yeah. I just got to thank my sponsors, Jennifer Hatch, Caldwell Banker, Simplistic Linens, Bubbles and More, Lakeshore Catholic High School, Club 54, Humberstone, Tim's Lawn Care, WeldStar. Man, they're doing a hell of a job with us, and we're going to keep winning races for them.
Good job, Jacob Dykstra, one of the up-and-coming stars here in the sport. We'll move over and talk to another one of the up-and-coming stars. Now, your plan was to move on, Josh, into the 360s. You dabbled in that a bit last year, but this has been the majority of the racing going on. You're still eligible to run the crates. How much fun are you having to at least get out here in a division you were a previous champion of?
It's fun, and at least we're getting laps in. You got to thank everyone, all you guys that put the great show on. We were supposed to race yesterday. Unfortunately, the weather didn't allow us to, but nobody bought our crate motor over the winter, so we still had it sitting there. We had an extra frame, so let's go get some track time.
Well, if you're looking for a winner, Josh got one under the hood. We'll move over here and talk to Lucas Smith. Lucas, you know, you had a great season at Oshweekend last year. You were one of the guys who pretty much qualified for all the features. That's a tough deal with the level of competition we've got here. Talk about the Action Sprint Tour, though. Almost 30 drivers showed up tonight, a big field of cars, and here you are finishing third. Can you be happy with that?
Oh, man, I'm so pumped about this. I was running like fifth until 2 to go, and then traffic came in and all that dust. It was just nuts, and I got those last 2 spots, man. I am so happy to be here tonight.
Solid drive, good job. That's Lucas Smith. He will finish third. Second be Josh Hansen. Your winner tonight, Jacob Dykstra, keeps it perfect as part of Operation Green Flag. Guys, back up to you. We got one more feature event to come.
once again, it's so much fun. Like watching Lucas Smith's interview. Josh Hansen, that's how he is. He's a humble, soft-spoken, just straight-up guy. Jacob Dykstra is always... Am I mistaken, or was Jacob Dykstra shut out of Victory Lane last year, Greg?
Oh, don't put me on the spot.
Yeah, I can't... We were making a big deal about how he'd done everything but win at one point because he was really, really fast for the longest time. Regardless, we don't need to think about that at all because 2 races into 2020 and he's won both of them. Doing a great job. Definitely earned that one. It was fun to watch.
Getting ready now for the Dirt Sportsman. Lining up next, Brad Rouse will start from the pole. From St. Catharines in the Bellinger Electric Rouse Motorsports 18R. So it's same situation as we saw at Merrittville Speedway. Brad Rouse started up front. We'll see what he can do here tonight in the Costco Haulage Sportsman Division.
I'd like to file a protest for the starting order of this one.
Looks like on the outside of him is where we're going to find Luke Carlton from Port Colborne and the Hingston Metal Fabrication number 26. Inside of row number 2 in the 4S, Rob Sauter out of Port Colborne, the West Pier Marine Industrial Supply, Rick's Delivery number 4S. And lining up on his outside from St. Catharines in the Blue Moon Potato Sharp Auto Center Quick Dry, 8S Justin Sharp. Starting position number 5 tonight in the 99P from Port Colborne, Gaston Auto Sales, Atkins Delivery Service, and Bobcat Services. Car number 99P of Greg Penante. And starting to his outside from Thorold and the Rick's Delivery, South Niagara Speed Shop, 108, Billy Bleach. Going from the 7th position. And he hails from Port Colborne, the Sterling Lubricants, St. Amant Auto, Tumble Home Lodge. 15 of Adam Leslie lining up on his outside. Car number 5, that'll be Todd Gordon from St. Catharines. Going from position number 9. From St. Catharines, the Kenny Upol, Oshwegan Speedway, Brian's Tire. 20, the Mongrel, Jay Mallory. And on his outside, from St. Catharines, the Seaway Fluid Power, Ryko, St. Amant Auto and Truck Repair. 71 of Mike Bowman. Going from position number 11, he was a podium finisher at Merrittville Speedway a couple of weeks ago from right here in Port Colborne, the Williamson Welding. Rick's Delivery, Bill's Toyota 12, Heavy Chevy, Chad Chevalier. And to his outside in the 777, the Posner Metals Beach Road Steel Sales, number 777, Cody McPherson from St. Catharines. Back behind them in row number 7 is... looks like it's going to be the 35 of Brandon Gruel out of St. Catharines. Robert Sennett Designs, Flanagan Race Car Fabrications 35G. And to his outside in the 09 from Beamsville, Central Fabricating, Alexander Owning, 09, Trevor Wright. Back in row number 8 is where we find JMF, James Michael Friesen from St. Catharines in the Bobcat of Hamilton. Car number 72, also sponsored by Advantage Trailers. And on his outside, Jeff Ponante in the 66 from Port Colborne. We've also got the 23 of Nathan Peaty, the 74 of Taylor Vanderzanden, the 62 of John Babian, the 28 of Mitch Dumont, the 24 of David Flanagan, the 13 of Daniel McKay, the 25 of Chris Hawkins, and at the back, green flag is out as we go down to the corner number 1. Brad Rouse leading the way. Also at the back, we got the 20J of Doug Walsh. 25 laps. The Costco Haulage Dirt Sportsman, we are underway, clean and green, it looks like so far in lap 1.
Rouse gets out in front. Sauter and Carlton side by side for that second position as they race down into turn 1.
Carlton on the outside, Sauter on the bottom side as they go down the back stretch. Tucked in behind them is Justin Sharp, no one around him, but here comes Greg Penante now. Gets a good run through corner number 3, closes the gap off of 4.
Penante clears the bleach machine. Right behind them, it's Adam Leslie in the 15. Out in front, it's Brad Rouse opening a gap. On now second place, Sauter. He clears Carlton in the 26. He'll try to close in on the race leader.
Sauter there, you see him in the second spot. Luke Carlton behind him. Here's the battle for position 4. Justin Sharp and Greg Penante. One going off, that'll be Doug Walsh as we see the leader go by him.
Man, oh man, Jay Mallory, who won his heat race earlier, he is deep in this field, battling with Cody McPherson, Todd Gordon, Chad Chevalier.
The things we've seen Cody McPherson do in recent times in that 777, as they mentioned, the chassis, over 10 years old. He was so good down at Applefest the end of last season, and then had that great run at Merrittville. Didn't get on the podium at Merrittville a couple of weeks ago, but he was probably one of the stories of that show.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Look at this. Greg Penante just having a great battle with Justin Sharp side by side into 3 and 4. It looked like he had the pass almost completed last time, but Sharp did a great job, battled back around the outside and took it back.
There's leader Brad Rouse already into corner number 3. Second place, about 10 car lengths back, is Rob Sauter. There you see that battle for the 4th spot behind them. Justin Sharp in the 8S, Greg Penante in the 99P, and then the battle behind them is Adam Leslie and Billy Bleach in the 108.
Right behind them, it's Mike Bowman in the 71. Cody McPherson behind Bowman. But fun watching Bowman out here race a Sportsman. He's had a lot of success in 358 modified, some of the big block modifieds. But here he is dabbling with a Sportsman car as Greg Penante now having a look to the outside of Justin Sharp. Now he's just going to push him.
Caution flag will come out. And one up in corner number 4, is that David Flanagan?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Dave Flanagan goes around, driver out of Port Robinson in the Outlaw Chassis 74. Almost to the Raffadillies. Again, don't forget to tune in 2 weeks' time, Saturday, July the 25th. Operation Green Flag, Mission Brighton Speedway for our first tour of duty down there. Just east of Toronto. They will have their late model division, Canadian Modifieds, Thunder Stocks, and their mini stock / Comp 4 division in action. 7 p.m. start time. GForceTV.net. Make sure you subscribe. Click on the ding-a-ling there and get those notifications so that you know when we are live or have uploaded content. So again, that's Saturday, July the 25th. 7 p.m. start time, and then the following night we'll go to Thorold, Ontario for Merrittville Speedway and their makeup race from last night. And that will feature the small block modifieds, 360 sprint cars, and a Hoosier stocks as well. And the lineups last night, the rosters were fantastic at Merrittville. I was so upset that it got canceled due to the rain out.
It's going to be a hell of a show. My goal, we're going to get more subscriptions next race because it's going to be Tickle Greg's Ding-a-ling and join GeForce TV. Trust me, this is marketing brilliance.
I need to talk to my agent.
Dear HR.
Down into corner number 1, Brad Rouse, Luke Carlton, Greg Penante. Rob Sauter got shuffled back there. Here comes Justin Sharp. What a pack back there from 4th on back.
Adam Leslie super aggressive on that restart. Yo, that could have been bad.
They continue to beat and bang and bump and grind through 1 and 2. And right now in the 4th spot is Justin Sharp. Here comes Sauter back to the inside.
Sauter's not giving up that battle, but Adam Leslie found things to his liking up on the outside, and it's not going to get better for Sauter as he is the meat in a sandwich.
So that is the fight for the 4th spot. You've got Brad Rouse, Luke Carlton, and Greg Penante. They've broken away in the top 3, and Rouse hasn't been able to pull away quite as far from Luke Carlton this time.
No, really impressed with the drive Luke Carlton's having right now. It'd be great to see him with a podium finish, but Greg Penante, remember the battle that Rouse and Penante had in that heat race. He wants to go up there and mix it up with Brad again.
Brad Rouse is the leader. Then it's Luke Carlton, Greg Penante, your top 3. Adam Leslie runs 4th. 5th at the line looks like it's Justin Sharp. 6th is Chad Chevalier. Then you've got James Michael Friesen, Mike Bowman. 7th and 8th, 9th Rob Sauter, and 10th right now is Cody McPherson. Billy Bleach back in 11th. 12th is Trevor Wright. 13th, Todd Gordon. 14th looks to be Jay Mallory. 15th is Taylor Vanderzanden.
Justin Sharp goes around in turn number 1. He sits backwards off the end of the racetrack. No yellow yet. I don't think they know that he's out there.
Good eyes, Adam.
Justin Sharp had to feel lonely down there. He's getting that car rolling, but I think he's only trying to draw the yellow flag that he feels he deserved 2 laps ago. Because he sat there for a little while, sailed it in on the outside of turn number 1 in a phenomenal battle for position with Adam Leslie and Chad Chevalier.
So he will probably find himself, I would think, at least 2 laps down. 1 at least. But I would venture 2 because it was a good couple of laps before that was noticed. And good eyes, Adam.
Well, I have to be watching that battle. So, even a blind squirrel gets a nut now and then, Greg.
I get one every broadcast.
Fair point.
Also have the 13 of Daniel McKay stopped up in 4. Let's see if we can get this on the replay. Here it is. Goes into corner 1. And off he goes.
As the great Bob Uecker said, just a bit outside. This is fabulous. I even got sent a link to a My Ding-a-Ling video. Oh. It's all right. We found them. I've heard people say they enjoy listening to us, Greg, because they never know what they're going to hear next. And there's a good reason for that. We have no idea what we're going to say next.
I usually have a fairly good idea. It's you that I'm...
Well, that's why.
I'm questioning.
Yeah, we got to keep things exciting. How about Luke Carlton in that 26? Attaboy. Running second to Brad Rouse. Luke Carlton's been at this game a long, long time, but when you get these slick racetracks like this, it's a great equalizer.
And on that last restart, he kept pretty solid pace with Brad Rouse, didn't let him get away too far, and was holding Greg Penanti at bay as well, so a great run right there in that second spot. So it's Rouse, Carlton, and Penanti the top 3. Then you've got Adam Leslie in the 4th spot. 5th is Chad Chevalier. 6th, Mike Bowman. 7th is James Michael Friesen. 8th, Cody McPherson. 9th, Rob Sutter. 10th, Billy Bleach. 11th, Trevor Wright. 12th, Jay Mallory. 13th is Todd Gordon. 14th, Taylor Vanderzandt. 15th, Brandon Gruel. 16th, Dave Flanagan. 17th is Mitch Dumont. 18th, Jeff Penanti. 19th is where we find the 23 of Nathan Peaty. And then it's John Babian and Chris Hawkins, the only other 2 cars left on the track. Pace car pulls off on the back stretch. We've got 15 on the board, 10 laps left to go. What can Luke Carlton and Greg Penanti do here with Brad Rouse?
Greg Penanti heads to the outside, down into 1 and 2 to see if he can make that work. Wasn't entirely successful, but it was worth a shot. Adam Leslie trying to close in. He lost a little bit of gap there in that opening lap on the restart.
Here goes Penanti working the outside line on Carlton. He's digging and clawing, but Carlton stands steady on the bottom, holds him at bay, now gets right up on the rear Nerf bar.
Yeah, that could have been something there. Got really right up on the back bumper of the 26 machine. Good, clean racing. I mean, it's aggressive racing as we lose a little bit as they go down into turn number 1. How about Chevalier split the middle to the 3rd spot?
There he tucks himself up in behind Carlton. Leslie right there on his left rear as they work it off the corner. Brad Rouse in control over Carlton, Chevalier, Penanti, and Leslie are top 5.
Mike Bowman trying to close in, make it a 6-car battle. Of course, hey, let's bring James Michael Friesen as well in the 72. Problem for Greg Penanti as he slides up the racetrack, loses that spot to Adam Leslie, and he may lose another to Bowman.
6 more circuits around for Brad Rouse, the winner at Merrittville Speedway 2 weeks ago. Looking for another one here tonight as they work down the back stretch. Here comes Mike Bowman now to the inside of Greg Penanti. JMF right behind him.
Now Chad Chevalier is going to set his sights on the 26 of Luke Carlton. 6-0 to the inside out of 4, trying to assert his position down into 1 and 2. Carlton still pretty much doing his thing and doing it well.
Carlton and Chevalier going at it door to door through 3 and 4. Here they come off the corner. Chevalier's got a good run at the line. He'll hold down the second spot. Carlton up a lane trying to keep the momentum going there as they go through 2, though. A good launch for Chevalier.
Carlton pinched him down the best he could through 3 and 4. He just couldn't keep him in a spot where Carlton could get a better run, so Luke's going to fall back to 3rd, and now Chevalier is going to try to close in on Brad Rouse. Now let's see if Adam Leslie can close on Carlton to pick up the final podium spot. And look at Greg Penante. We talked about him falling back. Well, he's back on the charge.
He's up there in the thick of it as they come off the corner this time by. It should be, I believe, 2 laps left to go.
Looks that way. Chad Chevalier, he's getting into the corner better, but he's not able to keep the car down. It's washing up a little bit, but he is closing the gap.
White flag is out. One more time around for Brad Rouse. 2 weeks ago, it was these two, 1 and 2, looking to repeat it here tonight at Humberstone Speedway. Rouse through 3.
Adam Leslie with a big run down the back straightaway trying to take that 3rd spot. It's going to be Brad Rouse for the win. Chevalier 2nd, Carlton, Leslie, Penante, Friesen, Bowman, McPherson, Sauter, Wright. That's how they will finish here at Humberstone Speedway. What a night of racing.
Chad Chevalier gave Brad Rouse a run for his money in the closing laps. Another feature where maybe another lap or 2 may have given Heavy Chevy a chance to battle it out with Brad Rouse, but they were 1 and 2 at Merrittville. They'll be 1 and 2 again here tonight. They'll go across the scales in the pit area, make sure it's confirmed. And a different driver in the 3rd spot tonight with Luke Carlton with a solid run.
Yeah, good job for Luke. Looking forward to see his interview. He'll have to be content with that, I would think.
I just want to see if Chad Chevalier's got a real mask this time or have a repeat.
You never know what opportunities are going to present themselves, Greg.
So they'll roll across the scales over in the pit area. And again, this is our final feature of the night. I want to thank everyone for tuning in here. Stay tuned. Clinton Jeffrey is going to talk to the top 3 down in Victory Lane. But again, be with us. In 2 weeks' time, we'll be at Brighton Speedway on Saturday night on July the 25th. And then on Sunday, July 26th, over at the Merrittville Speedway. And Operation Green Flag continues. Brad Rouse across the scales, and he's headed to the racetrack, so he is A-OK. Chad Chevalier rolls across, just waiting for Luke Carlton. Some good racing here tonight, Adam, and no major calamities, no major destruction tonight. Not to say that there wasn't some bent-up parts, but still, we didn't see any major incidents.
No, and that's for sure. And that's what we like to see. And we're about to head to Victory Lane. Clinton Jeffrey is on the scene waiting for Brad Rouse, who has just arrived to collect his checkered flag. Take it away, Clinton Jeffrey.
Thanks, Adam. Another solid run for the Rouse crew. The Roadhammers get it done again tonight here at Humberstone. Same top 2 we had at Merrittville a few weeks back. And Rouse gets it done with Chevalier running position 2nd. Solid run for Luke Carlton in the 3rd spot here tonight. We'll wait for Rouse to get out. He'll pick up $1,000 for his feature win here this evening. And we'll get a chance to talk to Brad about how his night went. And the track kind of came back around, guys. It was looking rough for a while there, but the dust kind of blew off and we got some good racing in. And what a great show it turned out to be here. 4 great divisions. And I know Dave and his staff are happy about it. Here comes Rouse out of the number 18 car, and we'll get a word with him in just a moment.
Now, Clint, make sure when you talk to him, ask him how he feels about starting first like that. I want to see Brad Rouse win from about 15th or 16th. I mean, every win is good, and the check is nice. But let's see what he has to say.
Another great drive, Brad. You know, you've been perfect here in Operation Green Flag so far in Ontario. picked up both feature wins. But the redraw helped. Yeah, we're lucky in the redraw both times, too, and that puts you up front. You know, there's a lot of talk about what we could do. You could have started 12th, but you got the luck of the draw. You're fast anyways. It might have not have been so much of a deal. But in the end, you're back here in victory lane once again.
Yeah, no, it really was tonight the luck of the draw with Chad coming from the back there. He probably would have had something for us for sure. So these guys worked real hard on this car the last couple weeks, and we've been putting this thing together, and it's just been amazing. It kind of sucks without the fans, even if they boo, yell, scream, whatever. It just sucks not to have them here. So hopefully we can get them here pretty soon and put on some shows for them.
Probably should ask that, Brad. You've won enough races that you get both the boo birds and the cheers from your regulars. Is it different here, not hearing anything?
Yeah, it's kind of terrible. It's what can we do? We could be worse as long as we're all healthy and we can make this go away and hopefully get back to racing.
Well, we're showing we can race and with proper social distancing. Congrats, Brad, and hopefully we get our fans back soon.
Thank you very much.
Brad Rouse gets it done. We'll move over here and talk to Heavy Chevy. Chad, we got you a mask this time, and that was one of the best clips we had from the last show. What a joke, man. But still, you know, both Operation Green Flag Sportsman races, you're second here. You know, Brad's one of the best in the business all over North America. Can you leave a little bit happy finishing second to Rouse tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you don't like finishing second, but especially 2 times in a row, the same guy. But we got our car dialed in, got a lot better. We had to start further back, and we came through. It was good. It was a good run, good track. Just happy that you guys can do this for us, and appreciate all my sponsors, Paul and Brendan Williamson, Bill's Toyota, Rick's Delivery, Robitaille Racing. Couldn't do it with all of them and my crew guys.
Solid job there. Chad Chevalier grabs second. We'll get over here and talk to Luke Carlton. Luke, solid job for you. I mean, you got 2 of the best of the business in front of you tonight, and you know, you've been doing this a long time, but you got to be happy with third on a night like tonight.
Absolutely, glad to be on the podium. If we were just a little bit better on corner entry, I think I might have had something for Brad. You know, but the car, we're just figuring it out. So, you know, second race of the year. So
let's talk about setup. You know, you're a veteran with a lot of experience around here. Did it throw you fits? Because it is black, it is hard, but there was some dust. You know, throwing you fits when you're trying to figure out what to do in the pit area.
You know, I actually like driving on this type of a track, the slicked off racetrack, and so if you go with a little bit of your experience and then the new short rod coil setup and all that, it was fun. It was fun to race like that.
Good to see you on the podium, Luke. Luke Carlton finishes third. Chad Chevalier will grab second, and your feature win all night. Brad Rouse picks up the second feature win of Operation Green Flag. Up to you guys to take it home. Thanks everybody for watching. We certainly appreciate being able to come into your living room.
Thank you very much, Clint. Another great night of racing action, 4 divisions, and got it wrapped up just under the 4-hour mark. We had a lot of racing to do, a lot of cars, jam-packed divisions. That's the exciting thing, is to see how many racers just want to race. We understand some just can't right now, but to see these fields so full, and Brad Rouse said it all. We miss you, fans.
And nobody gets more boos in the Sportsman division than Brad Rouse, and that comes with success, and it comes from a career of racing hard. But even that, you miss that. You want to hear reaction. You want to see the emotion out of drivers, and drivers want to see emotions out of the fans. That's kind of what makes this whole thing work.
So congratulations to all of our winners tonight. We want to thank everyone for tuning in again. Don't forget, on Saturday, July the 25th, 7 p.m., we'll be at Brighton Speedway, GForceTV.net to subscribe and get your notifications. And make sure you don't miss that one with their 4 divisions of racing. And then we'll be back at it the following night, Sunday, July the 26th, 7 o'clock, Merrittville Speedway, with 3 more divisions of racing action. And I'm sure there'll be more announcements to come for future events for Operation Green Flag here on GeForce TV. So that will wrap things up for Humberstone Speedway tonight. On behalf of Clinton Jeffrey and my co-announcer Adam Ross, I'm Greg Kellman saying so long and thanks for watching Operation Green Flag.